prisoner captured by unknown means was transported into the exiled lands, crucified, and left to die for crimes that they may or may not have committed, until fate intervenes.
This land does not love men. It might have been kinder to leave you on the cross. Live, love, burn with life, slay and survive. We will meet again, dead man.
All right, hello and welcome. It's I've decided I'm doing my Thursday thing, but I got work stuff I got to do tonight when I would normally stream, so I'm streaming a little early. I'll probably stream until about 8 or so. But I felt like streaming today, and when I found out I had to work tonight, I pulled the trigger to do it now. So hello everyone, welcome. Hello Madros, first in, good evening. Claire, how are you? I see Claire a lot on not Facebook, Twitter. But it's a treat to have Claire right here to my chat live. Welcome, Mr. Brian Chimichanga. It is a treat, and you'd be pleased. I've made a big burrito casserole. It's sort of like lasagna, but burrito ingredients. It's not golden brown, deep fried perfection, but it's easier, and it's still pretty good. Claire, you're gonna be lurking. All right, you're gonna secretly listen in. I gotcha. And Ava, good evening or good morning to you. Good morning, coffee time. So yeah, I have to. Let me see. I just found out that I have to pick up more work tonight. So, so I'm waiting. This is what we do. We wait for my wife to get home because she's got the universal like Metro Pass that she uses for work. So that's why I usually do my file pickups at night. Also, it's less crowded and crazy out there. And then I make sure that whatever work's been assembled for me, it has been maximized by the evening time. So anyways, that's my big weird news for today. Since I know everyone's interested in my work schedule. On to your second coffee. I could have considered coffee, actually. Coffee sounds good. I just had some of my delicious burrito casserole, but I only had water with it. I think I'm actually going to get into the game.
45 seconds of gameplay.
We're doing more Conan Exiles. It's just like mostly a chill game. So how's everybody doing today? Doing pretty good. Work. I'm a little stressed about work because it's a little lean. They gave me the work I picked up Tuesday. I finished basically, almost completed it by last night. Normally, when I do a pickup, it's supposed to last about a week or more. So that means that's a lot of hours today I wasn't earning. So that's why when I found out there was going to be a little. They said it's only a little bit more, but there's going to be another little stack for me tonight. I was like, all right, that'll keep me busy through tomorrow. Been a long couple days. Ended up in the children's ward. I know you were mentioning the headaches thing. Was it to do with that? Is he okay? I mean, let me see. Oh shit! Hold on. Hey, buddy. Hi. Aggressive wildlife. That's okay. I need leather. Hey, buddy. Oh, and for those who were paying attention when I was playing last time, I have found a new location. So, and I still have my old location, but I decided to do some exploring. So this is actually a new house. Where I normally live is over here. This is where I was doing all my adventuring last time I streamed. But somebody mentioned that there was a city over here where Conan lives. And so I ended up coming over here to explore, and I found that. And I also found a very nice area over here. It's got lots of wildlife and oases and deers, and it's got lots of iron and coal and all that stuff. I know the physics on the corpses are a little bit, they're like floppy. Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. Oh, how did you... I should have done the big swing, but I didn't think that thing could withstand even one of my light swings. Boo-rear. They don't do it that far for me unless that's sort of with a recent patch. I don't know. I have nothing to compare it to. So, a number of people were asking. This is if Conan was in the game, and I have discovered him. There's this huge town. Madros knows all about this, but for me, this was this big, exciting discovery. I discovered this last night. And it feels like, well, the town doesn't go on forever, but it's pretty big. And there's random merchants around. I don't have any money. Oh, these are just fighters. But there's some merchants where if you give them silver, they'll have particular items that you can give them silver to trade for. But not elaborate. It's like each one, like one guy will have bear pelts, and one guy will have some kind of a beverage. Viral meningitis? Oh god, that doesn't sound good. He's on the mend? Okay. I always think of meningitis reminds me, you ever watch House? It seems like meningitis is something that comes up in House where it's like, that could be dangerous if it's not treated. But yeah, here's Conan. And there are dancers here in case I get corruption, I lose my corruption. Hey there, folks. Conan, he talks and everything.
So you live, and we meet again. Tell me, have you had a good chance to look around? Seen your fill of these exiled lands? It's not too late to get back on that crucifix. Walk warily, my twice-dead friend.
So, he has a few more things to say, but it's just kind of cool running into him. And he told me to keep an eye out. There's some lady he's looking for. I don't know how that will tie into actual gameplay, because this game isn't like, you now have a quest to go to this place and find this lady. He's pain-free at the moment and gaining more energy. Dangerous one is bacterial. Okay, maybe that's what I was thinking of. I just know the word meningitis is scary because it kept coming up in Dr. House as like this badass thing. But I was probably thinking, well, viral I'm sure is no walk in the park either, but alright, just head back to my house. So I made a little house then in this area, because once I got here, I realized this area was pretty nice. And it would be nice to have an outpost in the vicinity of, you know, Conan's town. So, you know, I have a place to stay. And if I ever do get engaged with, you know, trading or whatever with the people in that town, I have a feeling that the game is, even though it's in full release, it's still like sort of in early development. So Like, that town has a whole bunch of named people in there. I'm guessing at some point there's going to be more ways to interact with them. I don't know if it'll be in the form of quests or not, but I feel like there's still some fleshing out to do with regard to the big city there. And hello, Ryla D! It is Thursday stream. I had to stream early because I got work stuff happening tonight, so I'm going to stream from now until 8-ish. Basically going to stream. My wife is working late, so she said she'll be home between 8 and 8:30. And I'll even do my thing after she gets home, because we share the same Metro Pass. So I use her pass after she gets home. So I gotta do pick up more files for work tonight. So good to see you, Mr. Ryder D. And there's Stone Raven. Welcome, Stone. Lawcox. But that was my Lawcox down. So I'm not really sure at this point what my main objective is in this game. I've sort of just been exploring. I've been building up this new little base that I've put together. Hey, buddy. Right now I've been collecting a lot of leather. More pipe cock. Yeah, I ended up getting all the basics in here. I actually have a new... I was talking about the complicated process of making iron, and you need this stuff called brimstone. So I used to run into this cave where I had to kill like a gajillion bandits, and then I could mine it out. Where it turns out where I am, I'm over here now, and these pools, there's still things that you have to kill, but there's these things growing out of the pools that have tons of brimstone. So I was all like, holy crap. So I decided I was going to make a little... Now I've got a little assembly line going for steel over here. Pipecock! But I know it's easy to forget about Pipecock because I made it so he doesn't show up that often. I know of no reason why the Pipecock season should ever be forgotten. Hey CPG, what's up, man? Really? It's only 6 tar? Okay. Obviously, I need to get more... Do more leather processing. And that will produce more tar. But this right now is like... not even worth process. Oh, well, I can... Let me see. We'll do that. That steel fire I mix with iron to make steel. That's what that stuff is, but I have to make it like under laboratory conditions. Oh, there's stone in here. Okay. Come on. And I think I've got some extra iron that, yeah, we're building up some iron here. All right, so now steel is happening. Oh, like you're watching motorcycles doing flips, and you're like, whoa! Talons of justice. They were. I'm sure they were hungering for justice like crazy. I see someone chat is in slow mode. It was a setting that I don't know if I'll keep it, but. And I don't know if it applies. Does it apply to mods? Slow mode? That's one thing I wasn't sure about. But it was one thing while I was taking my break and I was feeling stressed about streaming. One of the things was it sometimes feels like chat goes by too fast. And that was when I was getting stressed. That was one. That wasn't like a huge major thing, but it was one thing where I was like, when I thought about streaming, I was like, oh, I wish the chat wasn't so fast. It's like, oh wait, it's slow mode. So, I'm trying it on. Okay, so basically, there's like 2 or 3 people in here who actually get affected by slow mode. mods do not get slow mode. See, that's where I gotta be careful. Now when I'm gonna make a mod, they not only have to be trustworthy, but they also can't be too talkative. That'll be the new thing. So someone comes in and they're all cool and everything, but they type like 120 words a minute in my chat. I gotta keep them off of the mod list so that I can make slow mode happen to them. You're okay with... Well, it's like one message every 20 seconds. I didn't think it was... I think it defaulted to something much higher, and I was like, what? It was like a minute or something like that. So that's... I don't want people to wait that long. But, you know, about as long as, you know, someone to come up with a thought in a sentence. And not spam out a bunch of lines, you know? No, Ava, it wasn't... Ava's like, oh, immediately it's like, oh no. It was me and my big mouth, wasn't it? Hello, deer, or antelope, whatever you are. Give me your hide. That's what we need right now, are hides. Although I could probably think of something more exciting to do than further my steel production here. Oh, hey, buddy. Because I think I've got enough surplus steel that I can repair my stuff reliably in this region of the world. That's part of the thing too, is now that I have like a source of like steel production in this part of the world, now I can run around and use my steel weapons and my steel everything else, and when they wear down, I got steel to repair them. Chatty Cathy, you know it, you own it. But no, Ava, I feel like, you know, for the most part, I mean, I did not have you in mind when I came up with the thing, but for the most part, I don't think you type an unusual amount in my stream. I miss your comments, but that's not because you type too much, it's because I miss comments. Ava's is shutting up. Shutting up now, sir. Need to learn how to put sentences together. That was a pretty good one, Ryan. I think that was a complete sentence. I still need to learn. Yeah, it had all the right parts of speech and everything. It's good. No, you're doing great, man. Alright. Let's see. Let's check out my steel situation. And... oh, I have more iron ore to smelt. So we'll get the iron going on there. Got a little extra stone to put away. And some antlers to put away. Alright. I got a lot of sticks. I don't think I need all these sticks. Anything else? Oh, the mining. I should repair this too. Keep my surplus topped off here. I like 10 leathers and 20 steel bars. And everything I have is steel right now. Oh, I should make a a steel hatchet too. So you harassed you a lot. Well, I've tried to. I obviously people come in here and they get freaked out sometimes because I've got so many mods. So, and most of the mods I made a long time ago, like 2 years ago. But I can't, you know, I add people on here and there, but it's actually pretty rare that I add new mods. Like within the last year, I probably added 3. So it doesn't happen a lot. Just that all the mods keep coming back. But in general, I like to refrain from adding mods so that, like, not everybody's a mod. You see it sometimes. People come in here, and some people I think they get jealous that everyone's a mod and not them. And then some people just come in and they're like, We're like, holy crap, where's this so many? It's like walking into a policeman's ball, or you got a bag of weed in your back pocket. It's like, these guys, are they gonna do something to me? The mod wall can feel discouraging sometimes. Like, why is everyone else a mod? Yeah, exactly. So, and then especially if they're people that are repeat people that, you know, they're not new. They've been coming around for a while, and they're not mod, because there's very specifically, like, I've been very selective when I've chosen mods, and I don't do that often. So like at any given time, like right now, there were probably 5 or 10 more people that I think would be perfectly fine being mods. I just don't want to add more mods. So we'll see. Yeah, it gets weird. There's some people get weird about mods sometimes. Not everybody, but there are people that like oh it's like a, you know, it's like status, and if they don't have it, they're like, well, I guess I'm like a second-class citizen or whatever. Let me see. I'm gonna make sure. Oh, I didn't see Matus. It's entirely too. Yeah, I heard it's in the hundreds up. You're like in that Central California area. Okay, I said I was gonna go out exploring, but then I ended up just seeing all these really enticing resources. There's just a ton of iron and coal all right in this area, which is like, and I don't have to fight every 5 seconds. In my main home, where I was doing all my mining, there are those like rock beasts everywhere that I had to fight constantly. And here it's just like, it's basically free pickings. Never cared. Maybe it's because you've currently hold positions from real life, or what's more prestigious. Yeah, I don't know. It could definitely be like, it's more people who invest their, like they derive a feeling of self-importance. Maybe like it could be more of like a, you know, like a kid thing, you know. But I mean, I'll admit there was a point at which because I haven't there's a point where I used to hang out in dojos a lot when I first started streaming, and then he got super huge, so I didn't go back after he got super huge, because like he'd almost never see my comments. But he made me a mod back when I used to go, like in 2015, 2016, he made me a mod, and at some point he made a rule that only sponsors were eligible to be mods. And so I came in, I still check in there once every few weeks, just say hi, whatever. And at one point last year, I checked in to say hi, and he's like, oh, gotta do something about that. And he took my mod wrench away. And I remember, you know, I was like, I as a streamer, I'm someone that knows, like, mod wrench is not, you know, people have rules about it or whatever. But I remember being like, son of a bitch took my mod wrench. Like, and I was objectively, I was like, okay, you know, I get it. But there was some, like, my inner child was like, he took my wrench, I want my wrench. It was funny. People who just beg and beg. Oh no, the people who beg will never get it. And in fact, usually, maybe that's why I haven't developed a very, like, large audience of kids, is because the ones that come in and do that stuff, I'm almost immediately irritated, and I basically, I think, make them aware of it. That, like, nope. One way to guarantee you will never be a mod is to ask for mod. But in general, even if you're doing all the right stuff, I don't add mods that often. It makes you special in real life. That's right. That's right, Snow. Who needs authority over whether people can chat in a live stream? Oh yeah, whether or not to keep their children. That's right, Mike. See, there you go. You can get drunk on that power. That power for sure. I'm over encumbered. I was not paying attention to how much shit I was carrying. Okay, probably if I drop this stone, I'll be okay. You have a wrench or you have nothing? Every 12-year-old. So, Well, I remember too, there was, I'm not going to name names, but some people would probably might remember who I'm talking about. There's a kid, and he still comes in from time to time, but he mostly, he wanted to be mod, and I never made him mod. And then I found him in another chat room where he was mod. And it was a chat room of like the streamer sounded like he was 12 years old. And this kid, who's also around 12 years old, was just shooing everyone out, blocking people constantly, bossing everyone, telling them to shut up. He was being the most obnoxious bully that I'd ever seen. I'm like, oh, thank God. It's like I didn't give that dude a wrench. You jokingly asked for mob. I'm afraid you get time out. Eerie style. I think you've gone far enough at this point that you would not automatically get a timeout or something like that. We might sit down and have the talk about how I still love you, but I'm not giving out mod wrenches right now. Go, Eerie style, sit down. Let's talk. How are you, Eerie style? And then we would move towards the thing. Hey, Sparta Gaming, welcome. I'll answer your thing in a question. I'll answer your question in a second. I just realized. Okay, so there's chatting. I know I'm missing comments. That happens in this game. So this is a crafting sort of survival game where you start in the wilderness, basically naked, and then there's a bit of story going on, but it's mostly sort of a sandbox. Storytelling is more environmental, like there are places where you see visions of things that happened in the past, and actually there was this one dungeon I checked out. Maybe I'll show you that to you guys so you can see what it's like. But mostly people do multiplayer. I'm on a private, just sort of non-online server, but people do multiplayer and they get in clans and they build towns, and there's a lot of people play PvP servers, so there's like warfare between clans and the full destructibility of the things that you build, and so there's a lot of people that make a lot more out of it than I do. But I just like the surviving, gathering resources. There's a progression system where as you gain levels, I've still got a bunch of these things to spend. As you gain levels, you spend points to be able to make new things, and you also need to increase some of this stuff. You also can raise your stats up a little bit. There we go. And so the further you go, and then also as you progress, like you start off down here and you start scrounging around here. As you get into more difficult areas, you start finding more advanced materials. Like in the beginning, you don't find iron or coal, which is something that is sort of a basis for all the first step towards all the stuff you'll want to make later, that sort of thing. You have a bench to hashtag ban Ratus. I hope you plan to stream long enough for me to come home and catch at least the end. Oh, hey, Nick. Unfortunately, I've got to do a file run tonight. And normally I'm not this starved for work. Like if they tell me I have files to pick up, I have enough work on hand that I wait until the weekend to pick them up. But they've been giving me little, like, here's a little bit of work, and then I finish it in a day or two, and they're like, here's a little bit more. So I've been going, instead of going to do a file exchange once every week or week and a half, I've been going every 2 to 3 days, which is like, hey, some people have to commute every day, so I can't bitch too much. My wife has a worse commute than my office run every day, but it is kind of gets on my nerves that the payoff is like there's a lot of things about the job that if I didn't get to work from home, and if it wasn't usually a week or week and a half between these runs, I don't get health insurance, I don't get benefits, I don't get vacation. There's a lot of stuff that I don't get from this job that a regular job would get me. So when it starts getting lean, it starts making me think like, something else. But long story short, though, What that means is tonight, I streamed early tonight or today because I'm not going to be around when I normally stream. Gonna go to the metro with a pulley cart full of paper? No, actually, I'm just gonna bring like we have a canvas shopping bag. I'm just gonna bring a canvas shopping bag. I have, let me see. This is what I picked up Tuesday night. I finished it for the most part yesterday. And it sounds like I've got another about this much. Normally, have you seen some of those pictures? I'll have, 4 or 5 times more than this. Anyways. But I am going on the metro. It's actually a lot easier to go on the metro when all I have to do is bring a little bag and not bring a cart around. WFH? I don't know what that is. You have a 7-minute commute. Walking. Oh, walking from home. Okay. I figured a thing out. Let me repair this. Need more shaped wood. Okay, I've got some shaped wood. Oh no! What did I do? I just gave all my shit. Oh god, what did I do? I misclicked. Okay. This is a nightmare. Inventory management becomes like a major thing in this game. There was that. At the very least, now can I repair my thing? I need more steel bars. Okay. Now can I repair my thing? I meant to click repair and then it made that happen. Can I repair this? Okay. Steel can go back. Okay. Can go back. Look at my inventory. I had it so tidy and look what I did. Anyways, you have to go for a little bit, pick up your eldest. All right, Ava. You'll be back this time, you promise? I know, my gosh. Yeah, I hope so, because last time it turned out to be kind of a mum deal for you guys. So, anyways. All right, Ava. What exactly do you do with all that? Proofreading, voice dictation? So what I do is, it's basically called document review. I mentioned it as like, if you ever watch Better Call Saul, when his girlfriend, who works at the big firm, gets in trouble for helping him, they take her off all the big cases and send her to the basement where all the records are, all the case files are, and basically document review and regular legal, minus work comp, which is different. What I do it for is a little different, but basically, it's during discovery. Document review is when they'll collect all the documents. Like if companies are fighting each other, they'll bring out all this evidence, like all of the company's records for 10 years, and you end up with hundreds of thousands of documents, and then somebody has to go through those and see if what's in there that might be relevant to the case. Well, that's basically what I do in a work comp setting. So I get somebody's entire medical record for the most part, which I've had one medical record I've had was, gosh, like 10 or 12,000 pages. Sometimes they get pretty big. Usually they're not that big. The one that I just showed you is one record, and that was 1,000 pages. And so I basically have to go through and find what's relevant to the work comp case and do a review report. It would basically boils down that stack. That stack was boiled down to a 10-page report that basically gives the bullet points all the stuff that really needs to be known in order to evaluate the case without reading 1,000 pages of files. So it's tedious work. You do need some expertise to do it, but it's not glamorous. I went to Loyola Law School in Los Angeles, Claire. Which is far too good a school for what I've ended up doing for right now, but we're gonna It's all gonna turn around one of these days. I graduated during the Great Recession where nobody was finding work, like literally nobody. And it took me a couple years just to find this kind of, I mean, I was working during those couple of years, but this is the first steady work that had anything remotely to do with legal stuff. And that took me a while. And yeah, so, but I'm still I still have my eyes open. This is, in the grand scheme of things, a stepping stone. Go to Brandman University, Northwestern, and OSU. Oh, Northwestern Law School yeah, I applied for Northwestern. You mean in Portland, Oregon, right? Because there's a Northwestern somewhere else too. But yeah, I applied for Northwestern because I was living in Portland. Okay, that's what I was saying. I knew there was another one. I thought maybe it was Chicago. There's a Northwestern Law School, and when you said OSU, I thought you said Oregon State University. So I was like, oh, Portland. But it's Portland. It's Portland State, not Oregon State. There's Oregon, U of O, and never mind. Okay, that's U of O and Portland State. So yeah. So I applied to the Northwestern Law School in Portland, Oregon, while I was living there, and applied to Loyola, and I also applied to University of San Diego, which were both comparably ranked at the time. They were all three of them were ranked between between 50 and 60 out of like what 200 ranked law schools, which is, you know, not the top of the creme de la creme, but like in the top 25%. And I wanted to apply for places that I'd lived, and I know that I had lived, and that I knew that I wouldn't mind living in and possibly settling in permanently after law school. So I basically applied to the three cities. I grew up in San Diego and Los Angeles, kind of 50-50. And I lived a few years in Portland, which I really like. We're actually looking to get back up there, to be honest. Oh, but I have to read 1,000 pages? Well, read is a very loose term, because in those files, a lot of the pages, you don't have to read them to know they're not relevant. So, for example, you might end up with 100 pages of paycheck stubs ends up in the record. That has nothing to do with... What I'm doing is just looking at the medicals, just looking at the medical, what's called medical legal. Because I do this for doctors appointed to determine what a patient is actually entitled to. So they look into issues of causation, which is legal, but medical causation. So they don't care about, like, oh, did somebody owe you money, or, you know, the stuff that lawsuits and more legal actions typically look into. What I look at is very specifically history of, there'll be like a certain injuries that are in question, and whether or not there's like a prior history, or that this injury actually was related to something on the job or not. And then also just the fact of, like, how serious has it been? Are the medical records consistent in terms of the severity of how the patient was supposedly faring, you know, that sort of thing. Oh yeah, I liked San Diego. I grew up in North County inland, so it was a little warmer. Grew up in a town called Escondido, which was nice. I mean, it was nice, a decent sort of, more of a small town type of situation. Oh, I still got a bunch of shit I need to sort through in my inventory, huh? Let's see, were you in school when you worked security at the campus you showed me? No, that was after. That was while I was in Portland, but I was not. I went to UCLA undergrad. I finished in the 90s, and a couple years later I moved to Portland because my mom was up in that area.
talons of justice!
Thorolf of Dilflin. I'm messing up your name, but I appreciate Thorolf. I appreciate the subscription. Thank you. So no, that was basically one of the sort of the in-between time between, because when I was an undergraduate, I wasn't planning to go to law school. It was in the in-between time when I was like, yeah, I'm getting work that I like, but it doesn't seem to be anything like going somewhere. Like I felt like I wasn't living up to my potential. I still kind of am not, but at least I've got a law license now. Yeah, that's impressive. What I'm doing is a little bit unglorious, but yeah. So it was while I was working I was a security supervisor at an Intel campus, and that's when I was applying to law schools. Escondido's better than Oceanside. Depends on where in Escondido, but yeah, I heard Oceanside always had kind of sort of like a crime issue. Okay. Let me see. 1, 2, 3. 2. Let me do a little bit of game. Because I ended up carrying half of my base's resources. I ended up auto depositing into my bag for some reason. Turn that on. Let's top off our little coal stack. And we have some finished iron. This is the chain. I smelt the iron that I get out in the field, and then I put them into a secondary set of, what are these things called again? Yeah, furnaces. And I have to make something called, what is it called? Steel fire. I don't think it's a real thing, but you gotta make steel fire by combining tar and brimstone. In these little witches' cauldrons. And then once you have those, you put them in with the iron, and they come out as steel when you combine them together. Narcos, how you doing, man? What a treat! This is normally Narcos arrives in the form of epic raids. So this is sort of like informal Narcos. Just come in and just say hi. Yeah, I took a break for about a month. I got a little burned out, but I couldn't stay away too long. I miss all my peeps on here, so I started to get the itch to come back. It's been a little bit of a rough year here in G-Law land, but I'm doing good now. How you doing, man? Yeah, it was cool hanging out. I've been playing this game a lot, Conan Exiles, and it's a game that is very, very conducive to lurking in other people's streams. So I've been spending more time since I've been playing this, lurking in other people's streams. I still have way too much shit in my bags right now. Doing great. Been playing a lot of Warframe games. Yeah, I've heard people love that game. I tried it. You know, honestly, it's not really my style of game. But even when I was like, it's same as sort of like Destiny. Like I'll get an itch for that kind of game. But the movement makes me almost sick. Like it's so fast and it's so like all over the place that there's some games that just make me a little like queasy or make me go a little cross-eyed. And I think that was sort of the main thing about that game where I was like, oh, I can't look at it too long. But it looks like fun. I think it's kind of hilarious too that it's this free-to-play game that is kicking the crap out of basically a major studio game that's just struggling to stay in the game competitively wise. But I got Destiny 2 in a humble monthly for $12, and I played it. It actually, I don't think I played it enough to discover why people might not like it, because I didn't get into like endgame or anything. But yeah, I was playing. I'm like, this is cool. But you see, but most of the games that you look at that I play on my channel are not. I'm not like much into the like shooting. That I'm not very good at it. Endgame and Destiny 2. Yeah, that's what I'd heard too. Like when it first came out, people were kind of hyped, and then once they really tried to jump in with both feet, they're like, "Oh, this pool's a little shallow." Let me do that. I'm still sorting out my damn inventory. Okay. I've been hooked on this game. I got this game, for those who haven't heard my plug, this game is on Humble Monthly, their monthly bundle thing, for $12. $12 is the monthly bundle price. You get about 6 games, and every month, before the bundle releases, a few weeks before, they let you know if you pay for the next month now, you get like 2 or 3 early unlocks, and they'll tease you with usually kind of a high-profile game. And so this is one of the early unlocks if you pay the $12 for next month's bundle early. And I was like, hells yeah, but I totally love this kind of game. I do have Discord. I can link you to it. Actually, there should be a link in my description. I don't do voice chat during my streams very often. But I do voice chat. And on occasion I do voice chat during my streams. I've used it a few times. I mean, mostly what I've used it for is just sometimes talking to people outside of chat, outside of streams, because I have a hard time if I'm playing a game and I'm talking to people in Discord and I'm trying to do voice chat. I don't know. It's just like I hit a point where I can't do anything at that point. Joined. All right, you're in. All right, good deal. So yeah, I don't do a whole lot with it. I check. In fact, now that I think about it, I don't think I've even checked it in about 3 weeks. I need to get in there. But people talk amongst themselves. It's real nice. And then occasionally, if I do something where I want to play games with other people, whether it's on a stream or not on a stream, I'll do it through there as well. Talk to you after some time. Yeah. So that's what I've used it for. I mean, I did, especially even during my when I was taking my break from streaming. There were a few occasions where, you know, some people were like, "Hey, how you doing?" And I would end up, you know, hanging out with them on Discord for like an hour or two. So I do use it, but I use it like, I don't use it as a regular part of what I do on my channel. I just sort of use it as a way to just chill offhand. My stream is so stable. What's other people's streams having issues right now? It's not like people can leave you a message there and have you see it. Well, yeah. Well, eventually, usually I will. But it's usually people just talking to each other. That's sort of what it turned into. There's like 3 or 4 people that that at least historically would go into my Discord, the general chats, and end up having like back and forths. Because I think everyone does my Discords kind of figured out that I don't participate. I don't use it for announcements. I don't do a whole lot with it. Really? I wonder why that is. Yeah, I've never really had an issue with it. But it's just, there's a lot of factors. There's a lot of factors that can play into what the limitations of internet connections. So I can't say. I know one of the first things I did when I started streaming is I paid an extra, I think it was like an extra $10 to double my upload speed. So I'm technically, whatever they say my maximum upload speed is, I can only reliably count on about half of that to work. So And another thing I've noticed too is if I try going at too high a bitrate, like if I try, that's why I don't do 1080p at 60 frames. I can do 720 at 60, or I can do 1080 at 30. But if I try to do 1080 at 60, it starts choking my system. Like for some reason, my hardware can't, like OBS doesn't handle it, and everything starts turning into a like stuttery slideshowy mess. Ultra low buffering makes those without supercomputers cry. So wait, so are there people that have trouble watching my stream since I have it set to the ultra low latency? Or are you talking about people that are doing the streaming? You kitty kitty. Leather working's a brutal industry. Hey there, buddy. Hey there, buddy. Hey, buddy. Gotta get my leather. Uh-oh. There's usually somewhere around here. These are like the females and the children. There's usually like a, there he is. The alpha's over there. The guy with the corkscrewy horns. Yep, he saw it. He's pissed. Come here. Well, I'm glad it's super buttery smooth. I know when I see in when I look at the replay later, it usually seems good. Or if there's any performance issues on my streams, usually it's something happening between my game and OBS. It's usually not anything to do with my network. So, oh, hey, oh, I got hit. We're collecting leather. Alright. Oh, I'm almost dying of thirst. Holy crap. Luckily, we can drink out of any water source and it's not an issue. And my guy's hungry. It's one reason why I used to not stream games with hunger and thirst mechanics, is I was afraid I wouldn't pay attention, which I don't pay super close attention to my games in stream. Usually. And I thought I'd look over, I'd be looking at chat and I'd look over and my guy would just be like on the ground dead from starvation. Have you ever tried Ark Survival? A lot of people have been comparing it to that. It's multiplayer servers of usually up to 60 people. I'm playing on a private server by myself, but but I like stuff like 7 Days to Die. I don't know if you've played that, or I like those sort of crafting survival games. And I enjoy even by myself, though I have opened up the that if people ended up getting this game and wanted to meet up on a multiplayer server, I'd be up for that too. The first night I streamed, I did a multiplayer and I was showing people what on a multiplayer server other people have built, because people create these clans and they get together and they build some amazing like palaces and villages and things like that, where, you know, this I built on my own, but it's just, you know, it's boxy, but it's good. I'm trying to think if there are any MMOs that are like crafting survival. I don't think they are. And the reason is the map is big enough that a lot of people could be on it at once, but when you're talking about like one guy can build a huge palace, you don't want too many people on a map, because even with the 60 cap, one of the reasons I like playing on a private server is because the public servers are just, all the places where the good resources are completely built up. They're completely occupied with other structures. Or I mean, you can still find little nooks maybe to build your own thing in around there, but it just feels. One thing too is when there's a lot of complex structures, at least for me, it impacts my performance noticeably. Like my frame rate goes down and the game becomes a little glitchy for me. So yeah, it's a little bit. Yeah, Claire, like you could say like Skyrim and Minecraft. In fact, I was gonna do something that wasn't just building, because you start this game down here in the desert where you're naked, literally naked. You don't have anything, and then you're picking like plant fibers and branches and rocks off the ground, and then you can make like a little stone axe, and you can start chopping trees and mining stone, and then you go further up and you find iron, and you find ways to smelt the iron and make, as you're gaining levels, basically they give you points that you spend to unlock things that you can build. And there's a gajillion different things that you can build structurally, different types of weapons, tools. Even got like a whole thing of decorative stuff. Taxidermist, when you're going after animals, sometimes you get their heads and you can mount their heads. In fact, I think I got a couple heads that I could mount. Let me see. I've been collecting some, but I didn't have the right kind of wood for it. Let me see. Had a kudu head and a shaleback head. Kudu head trophy. Do I have shalebacks? Shaleback head. Oh, and that's just regular wood. So now I've got that. I did play Don't Starve when it was in early access. It was probably, gosh, 4 years ago. I got really into it. There's some games that happens. I get really into it. I play the hell out of it for about a month or two. This is well before I was doing Gaming Lawyer. And then I had enough. And I've thought sometimes, I should get back into it again. But I just haven't got a strong enough of an itch to go back to it. But I liked it. When I played it, I was really into it. So yeah, now I got the, now I can decorate with the heads of the various beasts that have given me a hard time as I've been collecting resources. Just let it be a warning to them. Same, you've been loving it lately. Played the phone version. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I think it was only all on PC when I played it. Probably not the ROG group. No, I'm not offhand. Don't even know what that means. It's literally been whenever it was first a thing that people knew about. Within the first 6 months of it being a thing that existed for the public, as when I played it. So it's probably a lot different now. I've looked at it on occasion. I mean, it looks like it's the same essential game. That game was in very good playable form very early on. But I haven't been around for any of the major changes later. So, yeah, where everything good is taken over. Well, it's actually really cool going around and just looking. I mean, we made it for what, 2 or 3 hours? I had a bunch of people in here, and that's all I was doing was just going up there's this river valley and just checking out the different places, and some of them are really cool. But then when I wanted to actually, and for some reason the multiplayer servers in this are just jittery too. Like, they're more buggy and unstable, and the AI will glitch out more, where the animals that are supposed to attack you will just kind of sit there and look at you unless you hit them first. You know, just, I don't know. I feel like this, I really like this game, but I feel like they have some, they still have some rough edges to work out, you know? Let me see. Make more of those. I'm just gonna dump stuff off, and I think I'm gonna, like, I keep promising that I'll do. I'm gonna do some exploring once I've once I've adequately dropped off all the shit in my bags. that I do not need to be carrying with me everywhere. Top off the coal. It's topped off already. That's topped off. Come on. Off. And I guess we'll do like a 50-50. I just finished making a bunch of... Nope, that's not a bunch. 9. Nope. Okay. We're gonna let this... Now, I like to bring a few extra ingredients along. Let's see, we'll bring about 20 of those. Stone I do not need. And I will want, will that do? Some shaped wood, a little bit of shaped wood. Reign of Giants, huge overhaul game account. No, I don't think it's still basically the same game. Highly recommend. Oh, maybe I'll have to check it out again. I did have fun with it when I played it. I guess here's the thing: is I have so many games. I mean, it's ridiculous. If you told me 10 or 15 years ago how easy it would be, especially on PC with like Steam and those services, how easy it would be to accumulate an insane number of games for super cheap over time. So I'm constantly, I have ADD. I'm constantly all over the place. So that's why a lot of times there's certain games like Skyrim I keep going back to over and over and over. And then a lot of games I play them, I get into them, I like them, and then sort of like, I'm done with that one. And I'll think about it sometime, and I'll be like, yeah, I should play that again. But there's 10 more games in my mental list of things I'd rather play instead. That's what is happening. And so there's so many games where I'm like, I should try that again. I should go back and do that again. And it just doesn't happen. You're gonna gank my Discord, Stone? Let me see. All right. I think... Oh, I want to bring a little bit of coal with me. Just about 5. What time of day is it in here? It's getting down towards the evening time. I wonder if we can make it... Nope, we're not. I'm gonna... I don't like setting out in the evening, or like right around sunset, but we might be able to get... Trying to think if we can get to... I guess we could try going this way. There's a dungeon I want to show you guys. And it's down here, and I was gonna go around this way back to my other base, but I figured I probably just head straight. Okay, I'm gonna run through the town. I didn't realize this until last night. I'd heard that there was an NPC town, but every place I'd ever been to in this game was just hostile little camps of NPCs. But there's this huge city, and where actually Conan the Barbarian actually is hanging out. And I discovered right outside the city there's a ton of easily accessible resources. Food and iron and coal and water and leather and everything else, so... All your discord belong to me. Brad Pritchard. Brad, I heard you. I knew you were out of town. I didn't realize at first that you were out of town, and I started streaming again earlier this week, and I got very sad that I wasn't seeing Brad. And Chris Plays Games told me that you were in country, like here, which is the same as being out of country when it comes to streaming. This is my 3rd stream this week. This stream today, I'm just doing it early. I was gonna try to do my regular Thursday lawyer stream, but I couldn't because I have to go pick up work tonight. So, and I finished my work for today early, so I was just sitting around waiting to go pick up work later. You got your laptop fixed so you can watch it work like an asshole. Oh, good work, man. Man, for some reason, it didn't register with me that the reason you weren't watching at work is because your laptop didn't work. I thought you were just being conscientious. Like, I'd be irresponsible. Or I wouldn't be a good leader by example. So this is gonna go. You know what? I am gonna wait. This game gets super dark at night. So I do not want to leave into uncharted territories right when the sun's about to go down. And hey, food brother Fili Contreras. I got Fili has been streaming off of his PS4, so I got to hang out in his stream yesterday. I lurked him while I was playing some of this for the first time. Does this game have James Earl Jones in it? Wait, was he in Conan the Barbarian? The answer is, I don't think so. It's got Conan, but it's not even Arnold. Is this?
So you live, and we meet again.
This is where Conan lives.
Have you had a good chance to look around? Seen your fill of these exiled lands? It's not too late to get back on my crucifix.
So I haven't seen Conan the Barbarian in 30 years. Probably, actually, more like 35. I was probably around 10, about 10 years old. I don't remember it at all. I should probably watch it. And then there was that new one, which I haven't seen. So, which one was James Earl Jones in? Oh, Ryler, you're out of the habit of stream watching. You lurk now. Yeah. Well, that's sort of... My stream watching habits sort of correspond to what I'm playing. Because if I'm playing a game that's good to have something in the background, then a lot of times I'll end up lurking streams. But like before, I was playing... The last game I was really into before this, which I needed a break from, was Final Fantasy 15. And there's a lot of story and stuff going on in that game where you don't want to be, at least for me, to be immersed. I don't want to be listening to something else while I'm doing it, because it's got its own narrative happening. But this is one of those games where I'll just have it on. I'll have a stream on or have something on. Sometimes it's a podcast or whatever, but a lot of times I'll just have a stream on. Let me see. Well, I keep seeing news that the Brady Bunch house, the house that was the exterior of the Brady Bunch in the original show, is up for sale right now. That house is about 2 blocks away from where I go to pick up my files. So, well, not exactly, but it's pretty close. I've never actually gone over to look at it though. Yeah, I gotta pick up more tonight. Usually when the flow is good, I'll get a cartload of work. It'll take me a week and a half, and the deadlines will be about a week and a half. But for some reason, things have been a little weird where I've been getting smaller loads with short deadlines. So I picked up something Tuesday that was due Saturday, which is a little strange. But I finished it in one day. So now I need more, and they have a little bit more for me. Hey, buddy. That's why I'm streaming early tonight. Because I was thinking I would do like the 8 o'clock thing. Oh, in case anyone's wondering why I'm using a pickaxe to chop down trees, I do actually have a wood cutting axe, which makes more wood happen. But if you attack trees with a pickaxe, you get bark, and it's the only way you can get tree bark. And there's certain things you need tree bark for. For some reason, there's the tanning machine that turns hides into leather, and it uses tree bark as a fuel. You do it all the time. Well, you probably already know the secret. You get a lot of bark. Yeah. You take off the bark and then cut it down. What do you use to take the bark? Do you use the pickaxe for the bark, or you just remove that with your hands, and then so your pickaxe doesn't get worn down? Gotta drink my water. I have a water skin. It's the only way to chop trees. You rub your body against it like a bear. You just like rub, or it's like a whole body, like sensual experience. That sounds pretty rough. No. Yeah, yesterday or last time I streamed, this is sort of like a satellite little area, that little base that I made. The last time I streamed, there's a whole system in this game of thralls where you go and you knock people out. Hostile NPCs, you can knock them out and like drag them unconscious back to your base and put them on the wheel of pain until their spirits are broken, and then they become your, like, you can make them guard your base or work on crafting stations, that sort of thing. So we had a bit of fun with that. I don't have any thralls here. Some people were accusing it of being inhumane, but they love working for me. After they're on the wheel of pain, they love it. All right. So how are your journeys, Brad? Are you all the way home now? CPG was saying that he was waiting. He was waiting to do his he only knew you'd be back by Friday because he's very concerned that you're there for his stream, his Choose Your Own Adventure stream. He wants everyone to be there. I did have to promise that I would not counter program because the Choose Your Own Adventure stream is going to be special. Because the first stream I did, I didn't realize it, but it was Monday at around 3 in the afternoon, and I wasn't even thinking that I could end up interrupting CPG's stream, but the stream kept going, and once I was in it, I just forgot. What the hell is that? Oh, it's a little turtle monster. Okay. I ended up streaming 8 hours that day. Wednesday night trip was fun but tiring. All right. Let's see, I think I want to bring a little more coal with me. Wait, why do I have all this shit in here? I had a big mishap earlier with my inventory where I kind of screwed up. And I haven't completely sorted my shit out ever since. Alright. I'm still getting it all screwed up. That's what I needed. See, I need to process the hides, I needed the bark. That's what I was bringing that for. Wood. We put in here to get processed into shaped wood. Nope, the take all button is what screws me up. That's not what we want. We want this one, crafted. Where did he put all that wood? It's all right. It's all right there. Horns. All right, I think we're ready to go on our big journey. Oh, hold on. I need to repair my I'll repair my pickaxe. No. Okay. Food. We'll top off the food. Okay, and we'll top off our water too, and then we're gonna go. We're gonna go on an adventure. I promise. I've been saying it for about 45 minutes, but we're gonna really do it this time. I promise. I've changed. Don't. It's not like before, baby. It's not like before. We're really going. All right, refill the water skins, and we're out. We're not even gonna mess with the we're not even gonna mess with the deers because we're not collecting leather right now. Nope. Not gonna do it. You guys, he's just being alpha at me. He's not gonna chase me. But yeah, ever since I bought this game, this is all that I've been playing. Although I'm starting to feel like I might be coming near the end of it. I'm not sure though. Every time I feel that way, I end up wanting to play it again. So. But in terms of games that I've spent $12 for, this has been pretty impressive. All right, scorpions. Oh, there's two. I didn't notice that there was two of them. Oh shit! I don't think I need their stuff. I don't need their loot. Now it's coming after me. Shit, it's a busy little scorpion in the place over here. Okay, there's a rhino over there. Rhinos are no joke. Rhinos are way above my class. I cannot. They basically can one-shot me. Unless the one time I went after a rhino, it was like a boss rhino or some crap like that. It's an awful lot of rhinos over here. Is this supposed to be like a road? Use my pickaxe to get the scorpion bark. What's the whole? This is just the other side of town. This town is pretty flippin' huge. Alright, well, you know what? Maybe I will. I don't know. This could be a bad idea. If I can tell clearly that one of these is like a smaller one. Looks pretty big. Are these the same size? Or is that a big one and this is a little one? This one looks smaller than the other one. shit! Oh, god damn it. Okay. Whew. That hurt a lot. Okay, no, I don't want to screw with those. That was one hit. And it bodily launched me. And it took about a third of my health away. It's not good. Maybe once I'm not so scared of them, I'll be better at fighting them. But for now, I think I messed my pants a little bit right then. The jawbone. Uh-oh. Rhino Horn Ridge. Oh god, that's all I need. I want to go... I want to go down there. Don't I? Oh well. We're exploring right now. Is there an entrance to something over here, or is it just a wall? And is that an extra big? Oh shit, what we got? That's looking like an extra big one over there. Okay, I'm not gonna mess with it. Ooh, what's this? Is this silver? Ah, silver. It's the first time I've seen silver in this game. I'm gonna mine that. Is that what we got over here? More silver? I feel like I'm gonna end up dumping a lot of stone, because when you mine mineral ores, you still get a bunch of stone too. Okay, we're going not the way. I want to go down here. So apparently I made a wrong turn somewhere along the way. Noxire! Good evening, sir. I'm doing my stream early today because I gotta go pick up more work tonight. But I think I'm officially back in my swing though. Earlier this week I just wanted to stream just to let everyone know I was okay, but I wasn't necessarily coming back to my regular streaming thing. I'm pretty sure at this point I feel like I'm back and I am no longer on hiatus. Yeah, face cam. Oh my girl. Half-Life 3 confirmed. Yep, there's a lot of hype around both Half-Life and my face cam. Here. This wood is more rare, so I'm gonna... Dry wood doesn't grow around, or doesn't show up around where I live. And welcome back officially. Thank you, Madros. Yeah, I started feeling like streaming again, but I didn't know if I was really up for it. Okay, so you see that green stuff over there? The edges of the map, basically you die if you walk into them. And part of it is, let me see. There's this bracelet I'm wearing. And that's, when you start the game, you're on a cross. You've been crucified in this like land where exiles are sent. And Conan takes you off, but you already have this thing on you, and it basically has trapped you in this area. This area is not like main civilization. This is sort of a place where people are dumped. They're exiled here. And this bracelet that I'm wearing interacts with those big statues that line all the edge of the map to make it so if you try to go through it, you'll die. If you take the bracelet off, you'll die. So, role-playing wise, that's how they've explained, hello. That's how they've explained the edges of the map in this game. The magic green wall of doom. But part of the story that does exist, it's not, this game is not very story-driven, but there is sort of a story going on, more in the background. Part of it is trying to figure out the mysteries behind why you have the green bracelet on. and if there's a way to take it off so that you can get out. But for most people playing this game, it's just about building giant shit and fighting monsters. And gaining levels and that sort of thing. Alright, I don't need to fight scorpions. Nope. Let's see. Oh, I don't want to go in there. I want to go down here. There's this dungeon called the Dregs. What if this game does not take place in the past, but the future? They erase your memory and crucified you. As per long life. Conan, just as a guy trapped in this very place. Well, that certainly is a very thought-provoking mental exercise. And that's something I wasn't... Actually, someone brought up the other day, where... that the Conan... the actual Conan universe is supposed to take place before the rise of civilization as we know it, but I didn't know that. So I don't technically know when this is... If we are going to fit this into an Earth history, if it's, like, supposed to take place on Earth at some point. Just water, don't get excited. It was based on Star Wars? That's the first time I've heard that, but, you know, you could be onto something there, Brad. Yeah, that's this big city over here, and it's filled with skeletons that are extremely proficient at killing me. That's why we're not taking any shortcuts through the city. Who's coming after me? Ah, it's... Down you go. Conan the Barbarian? Maybe. No, we want to go around. We want to go around the right side of this big building. Because in there's where the spooky skeletons are. We don't want to mix with the spooky skeletons. These guys are alright, though. Except for maybe not the big one over there. Maybe we don't want to fight the big one. I tried fighting... Whoa, shit. Nope, not doing that. Yeah, I tried fighting one of those before, and it was... It did not go well for me at all. Okay, we're in a land of very big, very nasty skeleton. Yeah, those are not like the other ones. Those one-shot you. They will one-shot your ass. Okay, let's just... let's just try to get out of this. This dark, weird area. Nope, I don't care what you are. I hear music playing as if I'm being chased. Nope. We're not getting involved. Okay, good. We are kind of getting where we need to be. These can't all be giant boss scorpions, can they? I don't want to test that theory. Common sense tells me they're not all boss scorpions, but at least that one I ran into, it even had different music playing and stuff. Not the standard, hey, you've run into a trash mob music. Okay. I think we're going the way I want to go now. Because I think you can do these dungeons over and over again. if you want to, because there's certain resources you get from the bosses. What was that? You may not leave the land of the Nopes. Sounds like sounds like somebody's fighting, an NPC somewhere is fighting a hyena. Okay, easy does it. I like that this game has like a climbing mechanic. It pleases me. Oh, hold on. Grab it, grab it, grab it. Okay, good deal. We're all good. Shortcuts. You'd run out of stamina as you're climbing, so if you try to climb something too tall for you, you'll fall off when you run out of stamina and probably die. So, but it does introduce a lot of verticality to the game, which is kind of neat. The land of the Nopes. Alright, let's top off our food and water. We're gonna have to run through a human village. Hostile village.
God, what was that?
Okay. Okay. Oh, I cut him in half. Look, his bottom half is still standing. That's messed up. Here,
Beast.
here. I've never seen it where the dude's still standing. I've cut him in half before. Okay, I don't want to. If I don't have to, I don't want to fight every last damn person in here. But okay, I guess it's just the thing they're doing now. Yep, these are like the generic henchmen. Is it still? It's still there, still standing. Okay. All right, fine. I'm gonna kill everybody. Come on. Head off. Sometimes you can butcher these guys, and you can get like an arm or a leg, and then you can use the arm as a weapon to kill the rest of the tribesmen. It's pretty sweet. It's pretty brutal. Okay, come on. Oh, this guy's like a Archer 3. If I was collecting thralls right now, I'd probably try to capture that guy and bring him home. Okay, so I've mentioned that there is some storytelling in this game, but it's not like your typical run up to a quest giver with an exclamation point type of dude. Oh, it's not enslaving. They're called thralls, Brad. We talked about this a lot yesterday, or my last stream, because that's what I was showing everybody, is how the thrall system works. It's not slaves. Slaves are bad. This is the spiel. Slaves are bad. Thralls are totally different. Thralls work for you because they love you. They are enthralled. Have you heard the term enthralled? They love you. Now, for them to get to the point where they love you, they have to go through some turbulent changes. You knock them out. You tie them up. You drag them through the desert unconscious. You put them on the wheel of pain and feed them gruel. You leave them on the wheel of pain, eating gruel for many days, and eventually, they don't like it when they're on the wheel. But by the time they're ready to come off the wheel, they love you. Yeah. It's not slavery. They love you. Okay, so there's these guys. And then they walk down into the cap. So that was something that I figured this out on my own after watching this. And I was like, what the heck? Maybe I can lure one of these random NPCs up here. Yeah, Brad, it basically is slavery. I'm not trying to I'm not trying to say that it actually is okay. I was saying that it's very much like corporate culture, except at least I have to go out and knock these guys out to put them on the wheel and break their spirit. In a corporate culture, you have to go to them and beg them to select you to be put on the wheel of pain, so that they can then break your spirit. So really, this is much more humane. Anybody? Anybody? Alright. Alright. Come join me at this thing up here, and then we'll fight. Oh shit. Oh wait, get out of the way. Okay, now that I've spilled blood on this thing, it's opening. Man, that hurt me a lot too. I just realized I didn't bring my my super healing food. My pro-slavery position is grounds for disbarment. Oh. Now you're making me feel like I'm some sort of a monster, Brad. Okay. So you see visions, and then throughout the game you run into these things. Usually they say things that you can understand, but this one apparently taught me recipes. So you see the thing of them going down, and then if you look down there, there's like a treasure box. I think it's filled with useless shit. But... oh, spices are rare. I don't even know where to get spices. An exceptional iron mace, I'm not quite as excited about. My guy's in the steel. He doesn't do iron anymore. So yeah. I just thought it would be cool to spend a little time doing this because I've streamed, what, about 14 hours of this so far? And all really anyone's ever seen me do is build up my base. So there are actually things in here other than just base building. The journey is basically just like achievements, kind of, and you get experience. That's the quickest way to get experience is by doing these things. And they sometimes will nudge you in the direction of like exploring the world. For example, obtaining the head of a boss creature. Every time boss creatures are like the larger versions of the regular creatures, but for some reason every time I've approached what I've identified as a boss creature, it's not gone well for me. So that's still on my to-do list. Let's see, fire trebuchet. I guess I could probably build one. I don't have a trebuchet is more, I think, for PvP when you're attacking someone else's thing, which I'm on a private solo server, so if I do that, it's just gonna be, I'll build one strictly to be able to fire one so I can get the thing. I don't think there's any other use for it. Combine orb effects. Sort of an alchemy system, which I don't have, I don't know enough about it to have orb effects to combine. And then other things you find out, make an enemy bleed, I did a long time ago. Other things you just, like, you find out as you're going through the game. What sucks? I mean, what? Alright, so this is a little bit of, like, a little hint system going on over here. You see this thing conspicuously lit up and there's like arrows in it. So it's like, oh. No ammo. Bullshit, I got ammo. I don't have ammo. Oh no. That's a problem. When I had my big, well, I'm very embarrassed now. When I had my big mishap with my inventory, where I dumped all of my inventory accidentally into a box, like I pushed a button and just unloaded everything. When I reloaded it all back in, I forgot to reload my arrows, so we can't do the dungeon. And you whip out your big weapon, but you can't shoot. Yeah, it's all for show. It's like driving a fast car, you know. My bow is sort of like a Ferrari. It's fancy. It's a good bow. But I can't shoot. I can't shoot anymore. That's why I carry such a big bow around. Oh no, am I trapped down here? Oh no, it's just nighttime. All right, we're out. It's just it's super dark at night. Wonder if I can get out of here without fighting everybody. I'm gonna wait till the first person sees me, and then I'm gonna sprint. First person to see me, I'm gonna sprint.
Come into the light, shy shadow.
Yarg, what was that?
Nope, carry on. Nope. He's still chasing me? That guy is. Hey, call it off, buddy. There. Well, that was anticlimactic. Oh shit, you're still here? What are you doing, man? That was a lot of trouble for a guy to go through just to get killed. It's okay, now we're gonna go to my main base. You just realized your plans for next weekend aren't gonna happen? I'm sorry, man. Stuck outside at nighttime. Oh, swim, swim, swim. Oh. Oh, sorry it fell through. That was like my stream tonight fell through. That's why I'm doing it now. Ava's back. You promised you'd be back. And there you are, as promised. And Brad's here. Well, he was here. I think he's here. I think he's at work, so he can... He may not be as interactive. There he is. Yeah, okay. Okay, I'm almost out of stamina. Oh, shit. Lots of terrible noises in the night. Trying to think of good things like G-Law coming back, playing games on YouTube. Yep. I did an 8-hour stream on Monday. And then a 3-hour stream on... Dude! Is he still after me? These things are chasing me a lot longer. One thing I didn't realize until somebody told me, I think the last time I streamed, you come across priests, you have to select a religion to start. And you come across priests from other religions, and they offer to teach you their religion. And I thought their religions are supposed to be in opposition to each other. So I thought if you said yes, you'd lose your old one. And it turns out, no, you can just gain all of them. So
Stay your hand, stranger.
this is like it's like a cannibal religion. I was like, no thanks, that's gross.
Awaits therein. I am his shaman, Nuno. Your coming was revealed to me in the whispering of a bat's wings.
I'm going to learn the religion of Yog. Alright, buddy. Oh, there's some of this dry wood. At some point, there are certain areas of the desert that have tons of dry wood. I'm probably going to need to build a little outpost next to one of them. Oh, it's just regular wood? No. Because there's a certain type of building material that can only be made with dry wood. And it's insulated wood material. You have to use like sap and dry wood, and you make insulated wood. Because you get affected by temperature. So, like, if where I'm at it gets hot, I don't need to be extra warm. But if I walked out in this snow area right now, the cold would actually kill me. It would actually kill me pretty quick. So I'd dress warmer and probably also want a base that has insulated walls so that when you're inside you stay warmer. And we're going to that. You can become a member of the Yogscast. Indeed, exactly. How did you know? Yogscast is an ancient tradition. Oh, who's after me? Well, I guess since I know I'm going home now, I can start collecting pelts. Oh, come on. Wrong axe. This is the one. Watch 0 minutes of YouTube on vacation. Vacation's way busier than normal life. Alright. He's not gonna stop chasing me, is he? Or did he give up? Oh, he's not going to chase me after this. Of course, I did not mean to come down here either, so that's the trade-off. You missed a lot of podcasts because work got busy. That's one thing about the work that I do, because I've been doing it for about 5 years now. And usually it's pretty routine. So it was like really hard to learn how to do it. But once it probably took a good 6 months to really feel comfortable with it. And by the end of the first years or maybe a little more, it was basically became almost like autopilot. So I can listen to tons of stuff when I'm doing my regular work. What I found that I can't do, or what I used to do, is I used to hang out a lot in streams when I first discovered YouTube gaming. I tried to hang out in streams when I was doing my work, and for some reason for me that did not work out so well, because I get paid for the amount that I do. And I found that hanging out in streams while I was working, I was constantly tempted to chat, and I think it was like December 2015 and into January, and by the end of those months, like those months slowed down anyways, but also my work rate slowed down like significantly. I think think my work rate slowed down by about 25%, which means I was still relatively busy, but I was just distracted, and that's a lot. 25% is a lot of a chunk out of what you should be making for your time. It's like getting a pay, you know, getting a pay cut. Twisty81 is home again. He spent 2 days with his great-grandmother whilst his brother was sick. Did some gardening for him. And now he's $20 richer. Wow. What an industrious young man. Performing quality services for an honest day's wage. Hey, buddy. Bow. This is my main house. That is my archer guard. Yeah, see, my main house is not that much more impressive than the one you just saw. It's got a few more workstations in it. It's got a few more chests around. I have a few more employees. Let's see. Let's check the old wheel of pain, shall we? This is my guard. Everything's under control? Yeah. All right, guys, how you doing? Oh, he's ready. Oh, you got, hey, I understand. I go nuts if I don't get my game time. Like, for weeks and weeks. If I don't get it. Start getting, like, anxious and unhappy. Wait, whose birthday? Oh, your grandma. Grandma, okay. He woke her up with happy birthday, cup of tea, and toast. What a sweetheart. All that for 20 bucks. That's a good deal. What was I gonna do? I think... I want to see what this guy's got. He's a level 3 fighter. Dafari sword. That is kind of a shit sword, my friend. Okay. We're gonna make equipment for that guy. I need to get rid of the shit I'm carrying around now. I've forgotten the layout. Okay. We got tons of sticks. We got hides. We need to process into... We have pelts that we need to process into hides. We got some spices. We got animal parts. I have glowing goop. Got picked that up by accident. We got wood. Silver ore. That was an exciting find. He's a fantastic young man. I'm really proud of the person he's growing up to be. That's good. That's good. I know there's a lot of people they're very apprehensive about. I know that's one of the things I've thought about too. It's like having kids and thinking, oh God, what if, you know, like in so many families, it just ends up being where the kid and the parents hate each other and stuff, and sometimes, you know, it's probably the parents' fault, but I've seen sometimes there's families where it's like the parents actually trying to do what they can, And there's just issues. Like, issues come up and damage gets done, and it gets really complicated and gets really like people don't think well of each other. So it's nice when you end up having a good dynamic in a family. That's awesome. Food. You can see my frame rate stuttering a little bit when I'm in here because I've got so much crap jammed in here. All right, arrows, right? Flint head. I guess I don't have a backup surplus of arrows. Did I have them in the machine? Huh. Why do not I have arrows? Okay, let me get a bunch of sticks. Got everything else we need. All right, we got arrows being made as we speak. There's gonna be a ton of stuff in here. Gonna cook us up some shellfish. Looks like we could stand to reload the wood in that thing. Oh, I forgot that one. Okay. And our regular fish traps, we're gonna grab fish and put them in the fluid press for oil. Okay, things are... My game's glitching out a little bit. Okay, no, it wasn't glitching. I just didn't realize that was just move. Okay. Glitched a little bit. All these delicious fish going into the fish press. Okay, maybe not all. Yeah, I think we're gonna... Whoa, that's a lot of berries. Let's make some dried fish strips. Oh wait, no, that's the other one where I make fish strips. Fish strips. He's mature beyond his years. Well, your health issues have been very considerate and helpless. Make sure he's enjoying being a kid. Yeah, that's where it gets hard. Yet when you got a lot going on growing up. It's one of the things happened to my wife growing up is she sort of like raised her she had brothers and they were all like around 10 years younger than her. She had 3 brothers and her mom was a single mom, so she basically like was a co-parent starting from about 8 years old, and so she sort of just felt like she just grew up at that point. It's like, oh, that's... And it wasn't until she actually got out of the house when she was an adult and she looked back and realized like that she basically all the other stuff that like people do, childhood stuff that they have, that she was like, oh, I didn't get to do any of that stuff. Hey, it's Twisty. Thanks, man. It's good to be back. It's good to see you too. And to keep up the good work, man. Yeah. I've had, well, you guys had a lot going on this year, so have I. So that's why I had to take I took about a month off of streaming. I was just worn out. And then I think I started getting grumpy on my streams. That's what it came down to. I started getting kind of crabby while I was streaming, and I'm like, I shouldn't stream while I'm crabby. It's just not it's just not working out. Oh, I was also gonna put these in here. Let's do that. There's some kind of dishes that I can make with berries, aren't there? Spiced exotic flesh. Okay. Spiced steak is with... But there's something with the berries. Savory feast. Okay, it's egg, savory flesh, and berries. Feral feast, egg. Okay. So apparently I think what I'm getting here is I need eggs. If I want to incorporate the berries into some fancy dishes. They all also seem to require eggs. Let's check the arrows. The arrows are actually heavy if you bring too many, so I'm gonna put this as sort of like my... These boxes by the door are boxes of things that I may need while I go out on adventures. So I'll bring about 50 on my person. And leave 50 in the adventure box. Alright. Let me see. I did have a supply chain going of... That's not too impressive, is it? I had a steel supply chain going in this place too. Encompassing 2 floors. Oh, there's a whole... Okay. I guess I let that... Wow, I have a ton of steel fire. Can make a little bit more. Lurkers say hi. It's okay. This is, you know what? This is a game that also attracts people who are playing it. Like, I found streamers, actually the guy we raided the other night was someone who, not many people were streaming this. And he's one of the few, and I just started watching him while I was playing this, because I like, you sort of can learn stuff about the game by watching other people play. So this is just an example that there's some people that they don't want to chat, you know, but they might just want to watch me play. So they feel free to jump in chat if they want to, but yeah, some people are here to more to socialize. Some people are here really just to, you know, hang out, just to watch the game or listen to the banter, whatever. Like Madros, for example. Are you playing right now, Madros? You playing Conan Exiles? Madros probably been here the whole time. He's one of our silent lurkers. It's too hot to do any... Oh, God, I'm sorry, man. That sucks. Okay, now I gotta see if we got more iron to put in those things. That was a mountain of steel fire. Yeah, we got some iron here. 105. Oh, and your AC's blown out? Oh God, man, that's awful. I mean, the only way I've been in those temperatures before. The only way you can deal with it is have an AC. I think, I'm trying to remember though, I did live in a place where it would get that hot and I didn't have AC, and that sucked. Like I remember I would come home from work and I would just strip down to my boxers. I get a spray bottle of water, like cold water, and I'd spray myself. And I would just like watch TV and just, I used to smoke back then, which probably was, so, oh God, I'm so glad I don't smoke anymore. That was so awful, sitting there in this super hot, like 105-degree temperature, like smoking. Oh. Anyways. Hey, Dark Jake. Dicks. What's up, man? How you doing? There's people like you that never shut up. Yeah, there's still. I think you thought I was talking about you earlier. I was saying I got to be careful what I give the mod wrenches to, because slow-mo doesn't apply to mods. And all of a sudden, Ava's like, "Oh, I talk too much." The master of my dick. Used to not wear pants, but Raven shreds my legs if I do that. Oh my God. I had a cat then, but it didn't shred my legs. Wait a minute. What am I doing? I've got a bunch. I'm carrying a bunch of shit. Okay, that's what I was gonna load up some more steel or some more iron in here. Because we're smelting steel. We're smelting. You're the best weapon of all time. No, I know, Ava. You can always pay to win. Sponsors are immune too. Oh yeah, that's yeah, 2 ways to get in there. I wish there was a way to control that though. So, but I guess it makes sense. Because when I initially had it, when I originally wanted to do it, and it was when I was thinking if I went back to stream again, I would just want the whole pace of the chat to be slow. It's when I was stressed and I was thinking if I stream, I want it to slow down. And under those circumstances, I would have, like on my original thing to do it, I envisioned everybody slowing down. Not just certain people, but I knew it would make sense that moderators wouldn't have time restrictions and that sort of thing. So, but as many have pointed out, like frequently my whole chat is like mostly mods, you know? So if I want to slow the chat down, putting in slow mode doesn't necessarily, it's not that necessarily any one person's talking too much, but you just get, I do frequently have a very active chat. Yeah, immune. Oh, Wibble creeps, creep. I know who you are. What's up, Dapper Canadian, and hello, bearded gamer Laku. You got Conan Exiles from Humble Bundle? Have you tried it out yet? I think you mentioned the other day you were gonna get it, right? Let me see. Now I'm just trying to figure out what I want to do in this game. What my next step is. I actually found Conan the Barbarian last night while I was playing. He's over here, and there's one NPC town, at least so far, that I've found where they're non-hostile people, and there's actually like vendors, limited, but there are vendors over there. And Conan's actually hanging out in like a tavern over there. And the whole area around it's got a ton of resources, like lots of iron and coal and animals and food and water and all that. So I built a little house over there. You still have to wait 15 days for? Wait, what do you mean? You can get it. If you pay early, you can get it right now. That's how I got it. Well, I mean, it depends on if you're waiting because you're waiting for a paycheck or something, then that's different. But just so you're aware of how it works, if you pay the $12 early, Conan is an early unlock incentive to get next month's Humble Bundle early. So if you gave them $12, you have access to Conan Exiles right now, as well as a couple other games that were probably like Escapist 2 and then the other one I can't remember. Probably perfectly good games, but it was really, I've been wanting to play this game ever since it went into full release. I sort of had my eye on it when it was in beta, and by the time it hit full release, it sounded like they fixed it up and done enough, added enough new features that people were saying, okay, it's a good game now. It's still got some rough edges, but it's a good game now. Do you frequent the naughty corner? You have noticed a difference with the slow mode on? It's a lot more relaxed on my end. It might be. I mean, one thing that's been happening on my end in general is, and you may have noticed it, part of it's a function of the way this game is. But I'll just go through phases where I'm just more playing the game and just hanging out and just letting comments roll by. Like, I got a little busy earlier in here today, and I didn't get stressed, but I knew there was a point at which I was focused on something that I was doing in here, and I was still talking, and I was still, like, you know, I'll see a comment and it'll get me talking, like set on a chain of thought, and I'll talk for minutes and not look at any more comments. But he is the naughty corner. Oh my god. Really? You gave them $12 right now and you don't have it? I don't know. I feel like you should have it. You know where to find it? Once you go into, like, you go into your account and you can find there's like your keys. Under your account there's a thing that says my keys. It should be in there, and if not, maybe there's a delay or something, but that's the whole thing that they offer is pay $12 now and get these games. Let's see. Unless there's something maybe when you first sign up that's different. It's been like a year since that I've been on it. I've just stayed on it. It's a great deal. Every month it's a good deal. I hope they, if they ever reboot Conan movies, they do it the right way with a better Conan, even better sorcery, etc. Make it sword and sorcery. I need to watch the movies again, because I mean, you may be right that they haven't captured. I never read the original books either, so I don't know how well the movies captured what the feel of the real original Conan lore was. But well, I watched the original movie probably 35 years ago when I was a kid. I don't remember it at all. The Arnie one. That's the one I've seen. And hello, Marinanor. Marinanor? I'm probably screwing up your name. Hello, by the way. Oh, the payment's on hold? Okay, I don't know. I don't know about that then. All I know is as soon as I saw this was the early unlock, I gave him my 12 bucks and started downloading it, and about an hour later I was playing it. So that's what happened to me. But sometimes too, when I can't remember if Humble Bundle was like that, but I know there's certain places that the first time you spend money there, there's so, like, verification has to go through. I'm getting a little hungry too. But yeah, I don't know, Laku. That's completely beyond my scope of knowledge. I made another burrito casserole today. I think I was talking about that when I first came on. I'm all excited. I made one over the weekend, and I finished it all. Did I finish it Tuesday? Yeah, I think I finished it Tuesday. So yesterday I did not have any casserole, and I really enjoyed just having food that was already kind of prepped and just needed to be heated. Normally, every meal that I have, I prepare basically from scratch. I do prepare a lot of food at home. I mean, not that it's super complex. A lot of times when I say meal, I'm talking about, you know, a sandwich, but, you know, with veggies and all sorts of stuff in it. But still, nothing too elaborate. But still, I start with a set of ingredients and not the finished product. And it's cool. I've been enjoying having something in the fridge and that I've made in a big batch and that I just go grab. I don't have to prepare it. Oh, Hearts of Iron 4. Yeah, I picked that up in last month's bundle. And I've had my eye on that for a while. The only thing I've been concerned about with that is, do you need to get the expansions? Is it important? Or is the... Because sometimes the way that Paradox does their games is the kind of like... As they start releasing expansions, the main game becomes almost kind of gimped. Because they keep updating it to accommodate the expansions. You don't have... Okay. Because I played... Let me see. I played a version of Hearts of Iron 2, and I was getting into it. I got Hearts of Iron 3. There's a vertical learning curve. It's like running straight into a wall with a lot of those games. Hearts of Iron 3, I never got past the initial, like, sitting down for an hour or two, watching tutorials and trying to figure out what the hell I was doing. And I think I heard that they said that Hearts of Iron 4 was a little more user-friendly. It was still complex as all hell, but a little more user-friendly. Like, you still need to look up tutorials and guides to really know what the hell you're doing. I just gotta wait till I'm in the right mood for it. Because that's definitely a different mood of game for me. Like, I go through moods where I'm into MMOs, or I'm into crafting survival, or I'm into RPGs, or I'm into horror survival, or whatever it is. You never read the original Conan stories, but you heard that, is it Stygia? I don't know how to say it. Wasn't as evil as in later works, except for the whole let the serpent kill you tradition. Okay. Yeah, honestly, I don't know that much about the Conan lore. I did play a little bit of the MMO, which was, you know, definitely had a sense of place. It definitely had a feel to it, which is the same people that did this. And in fact, I think some of the music in this is taken straight out of that. So there's some similarities there. But I don't know that much about the lore. I know I actually do really, I like sort of the flavor of the world they've created here, though. You would join me on that game? I almost can't even imagine playing a Paradox Grand Strategy multiplayer. Have you ever done that before? Because I have played, like, Crusader Kings 2. I put a ton of times into that. I played Europa Universalis 3, a ton of that. I have Europa Universalis 4, but I haven't been in the mood for it since I got it. I go, with those games, it'll be cycles, and sometimes it'll be years that I won't really get in a mode for it, and then when I do, I'll go, like, hard into the mode. I know there was a place I wanted to check out upriver. I think that's what we're gonna do. I have plans. Let's get that, I got plans! Well, because see, the reason I wouldn't be sure is because it's the time scale. I think it's the time scale is why it would screw with me a little bit, because when I'm playing those games, you know, it is technically real-time strategy, but there's a lot going on. So you can have it running super slow when you need to be super slow, or paused. And then at times when nothing's going on, you can make it fly by like months at a time. And that's where I would think, like, well, what if you have multiple people playing, and one person's in a situation where they've got a bunch of stuff they need to micromanage, and then another person is in a situation where they're just waiting for, like, they're waiting to accumulate income, and they're not going to be able to do anything for 6 months. And that's where I start thinking, like, how's that going to work out with the time scale? Because do they have it, does it just set at the standard time scale? People will ask to go faster and slower. And what is it? The person who's hosting the game determines the game speed? Because I know when I play it too, the game pauses automatically at just about any major notification. Constantly. Anytime I get attacked or go into battle or win a battle or lose a battle, or if I lose a unit or whatever. I'm not going to do any resource gathering here. I'm just going to go. In fact, I probably should have left my all my gathering tools back home. Okay, so the person who hosts is in charge of it. So what do you say when you play it? What speed is it? Is there? They tend to have it going at sort of normal speed most of the time, and then every now and then people ask to have it changed, or how often is coordinating speed becoming sort of a focal point? That's what I'd be curious about, because that's sort of the logistic that I thought would make the game awkward in multiplayer, but I've actually never tried it. During war, okay. Name is Gaming Lawyer. Can you give advice on things like downloading ROMs? Probably not, because I can't say off the top of my head what a ROM is. Are you talking about no, I'm not sure exactly in that context what ROMs means. You gotta go. See you next stream. All right, Dapper Canadian, aka Wibble Creeps, or whatever else, weird creeper. All the stuff that you are. I remember them all, my friend. Video games you download from the internet. Okay. This is one thing. I have disclaimers all over the place. That there are actual, like, professional ethics reasons why I can't give someone advice. I can't give people what I call actionable advice, which means if you've got something going on and you're trying to figure out what to do, then you ask me, and then I give you information, and then you therefore apply that information to your situation, and that determines the outcome of what you do with your what life decision you make. But in general, I can discuss legal topics. So let me see. So with the games you download from the internet, you're talking about like piracy? It's illegal. So typically, there are some circumstances under which I feel like maybe it shouldn't be, but in most circumstances, if it's an active intellectual property of the developers and publishers, then people should pay. And I've found that games have become affordable enough at this point that there's really, whoops, I feel like for a patient person, there's no reason why you'd need to pirate. Like, I remember when games were all, because back a long time ago, like before I was a lawyer, if you wanted most games, even if they're on sale, you'd be talking about $30. And there were times when I was pretty strapped for cash, and I was just like, hey, I can just go on, you know, the Pirate Bay and just try it out, you know? But I never was under the illusion that it was okay. And in fact, somehow it got traced back to me, and my ISP, Time Warner, sent me, they shut down my internet. I tried to log on one day, and I would only go to this one page saying that there'd been a complaint against me by some intellectual property owner, and that I had to click this thing to agree that I would never do it again. And that happened into like the late 2000s, like 2009, something like that. And basically I clicked, okay, I agree, and I never did it again. that was sort of it. I felt like I did it, and I know there are probably ways you can do it where you wouldn't get caught, but let's see, rom-com, oh, romantic comedies. Oh shit, hold on. There's no pause on this game. All right, down with you, spider. What do you got? Has he got can you get some webs off you? Get some gossamer. Okay. So, but yeah, I've known people, like I've had friends that felt like they had an attitude that all information should be free. All data information should be free. And programming is data information. Therefore, all games should be free. And I was like, that's not, I feel like that's a little different from freedom, just general freedom of information. But yeah. So, but I found it's become so affordable to get games if you have a little patience, like wait for sales and stuff, that I have more games right now than I can ever play. You know? As a gaming lawyer, is it illegal to not get this game? It would have been illegal for me to not get it because I really wanted it. And I would have punished myself if I hadn't gotten it. Let's see. Copyright has not expired on it. Can't leave it wrong for any other. Well, here's one gray area. Well, it's not gray. I think it's still technically... There are games that are basically abandonware. That at some point they're no longer... Seems like they're no longer owned by anybody that exists. Like a company goes under. And there's some areas that I don't know that much about. Like, do those rights pass on to someone else that technically then owns them? Or what? But in situations, case in point, recently I was looking at videos about Star Wars Galaxies, the old MMO that got shut down like 5 years ago. And there's a community of modders and programmer enthusiasts that have recreated servers and recreated versions of that game that work. But in order to play them, you have to own a copy of the game. You really can't find, like, you need a CD copy, and you really can't find those anymore. If you go on Amazon or something, you'll find copies, but it'll be like $80 a pop. But there's readily available places where you can download that. That's just still illegal. It's like whoever, I think, is it Warner Brothers now? I don't know who owns the rights to it, but it's a Star Wars thing, and somebody sure as hell owns the rights on that right now. So it is illegal to bring it down, but there's some fight, there's some movements trying to push for, I think they're trying more to push for the copyright owners to let those things be accessible or do something with them to allow them to be accessible again. Talents of nude Conan jiggly man bits. I think I've got nudity shut off right now. Let me see. Yep, he's got a loincloth on. You're welcome. All right. Disney owns Star Wars. But do they retroactively own everything? Because I know sometimes things can get... Well, I guess it was LucasArts, huh? But when it comes to certain intellectual properties, there can sort of be a muddiness. It's sort of like the Marvel universe, where it's like, well, there's like 4 different companies that own 4 different facets of what Marvel was, and some people can only do this and some people can only do that? Is it Disney just, if it's got Star Wars on it, Disney owns it, period, end of story? Because I'm trying to remember who owned the people that did Star Wars Galaxies. It wasn't BioWare, and it wasn't owned by the same people. It wasn't owned by EA. It was a separate company. So, anyways. All right, and I'm sorry I screwed up your name. But I'm say Marinator. And you're welcome, of course. I'm glad you appreciated your time here. Was time well spent. Depend on licensing agreement. Well, if they bought out LucasArts, but did LucasArts own? Yeah, that's something I wouldn't automatically think that's the case, but it could be that somehow there was a master copyright owner of all Star Wars stuff that they've just been passing the baton along. So by the time EA arranged for Star Wars, the Old Republic to come out, that they also own the rights to. Well, Star Wars Galaxies was running at the same time as Star Wars: The Old Republic, and I think 2 different companies owned them. Anyways, my brain's just gonna pop out the back of my head if I think too hard about it. Oh, hey, Grammy Monday. Stop by and say hi and leave a like. I appreciate that. It is nice to see you. I checked last night. Assassin, I didn't see him on. I was playing, that's when I hang out, so I was playing my Conan Exiles last night, and I was looking, I checked, but I didn't find Assassin on. But anyways, when I was hanging the other night, man, it's like a whole little family in there. Like, you guys are tight in there. There's like 6 or 7 people, and it's just like, I can tell you guys have a nice little community in there. It's very cool. See, like how Fox had cinematic rights to X-Men. Yeah, that's what I mean. It gets complicated. Oh, he is streaming right now. Okay, all right, that's cool. I'm actually streaming early. Normally, when I stream, my only regularly scheduled stream is Thursday nights from 8 p.m. to midnight Pacific Standard Time. I live in California. But today I've got work stuff. Like when I popped into his stream the other night, I was doing work stuff. I have to go across town, usually in the evenings, to pick up files, and I do most of my work from actual home. But I have to go out tonight, so I'm streaming early. So it means probably I won't be streaming. I'll be streaming maybe another hour. That means later I'm probably gonna pop in and say hi to you guys in there too. But yeah, the Marvel and the whole X-Men and all that, I mean, that stuff makes me go cross-eyed. Alright, I'm gonna check this cave out. Because I realized this cave was... I've been walking by this cave all the time, and I was too scared to come in here because caves frighten me. Now, I did check out another spider cave on my own yesterday, and this might lead into the same network. And that spider cave, it owned my ass. I ran into some sort of like spider god, boss spider thing in the middle of this magic temple thing. It like summoned from sorcery. It was awful. And that son of a bitch like took me out. You'll be fine in this cave. So say it. You know what I'm talking about, Madros? Now this is an example of where I don't want too much in the way of spoilers, because me coming in here not knowing what it was or what it would do was pretty intense. Because I came in through another entrance, and I had to scale down these cliffs. Hey. The only boss you couldn't solo without cheating. Okay. Well, there's not a spoiler there because I actually already ran into the damn thing. Alright, where's he at? I hear the thing coming. Cheesing, not cheating. Oh, and just so it's known, when it comes to this game, I'm more lenient on people volunteering information. In fact, I believe it was Madros who, when I was first streaming this, asked me what the policy was on volunteering information, because there's a lot in this game that's not so much story as it is like they dump you into the game and don't really tell you how to play. They're like, here you are, you're in this world, and it's like, what? How does this button work? What's this? You know, so pretty early on I let it be known that there's definitely more of a leniency than normal for me with this particular game. There was no cheating. My advice is to mess with the cave spiders as much as possible. You think that's what I should do, Brad? Looks like there's lots of crystals in here. I have a feeling this is part of the same cave network. And maybe it leads down to that same room that I was in before without having to climb down a bunch of damn cliffs like I did. Oh, I one-shotted that bitch. Physics. Who's got... Oh, now we got two. Yep. Though these spiders I'm not scared of, Brad. You mess with the spiders as much as possible. Gather spider bark. Oh, hold on, let me try. I got ichor. Is that the only time I got ichor? Now I'm gonna... Is that like spider bark? It's like the liquid form of spider bark? Okay. Is there any... One thing also to check for is, because of the climbing mechanic, there's also verticality that's easy to forget about. I've gotten ichor from cooking fish before, but I haven't figured out what I need it for. Alright, line up. Okay, let's see, I'm gonna keep, if I got flesh with it. I have a feeling maybe I should be using a butcher knife to get the same effect with better results. It's just useful. Yeah, you don't need to tell me what it's for. But I have heard that in general with lots of different ingredients. Like, for example, well, you know, I watch other people stream this too, so it's one of the few games where I watch people who are further along in this game than I am. It's definitely one of those games where I don't sweat being exposed to unknown information like in the same way that I would, or as much as I would with other games. All right, who's coming? It is dark enough. I want that. Is it this guy? Well, come on. You daffy son of a bitch. You get stuck on a rock? Alright, I was also picking up all this gossamer that's all over the place. I should play this game so you'll watch my stream? Only if you enjoy it, Brad. But you know, a lot of the reason I don't watch your stream is because that's when I'm sleeping. So... I would say play this game if you want to play this game, Brad. But if you... It's not that I don't watch your streams because you're playing the wrong games. Alright? Just so you know. As I don't watch your streams because you stream at like 5 or 6 in the morning my time. And then I tend to get up like 8:30. And unless you're having a particularly insomniatic night, you're usually well done by then. Alright. Alright, hey, there's another one. Oh, I'm getting a little bit hurt here, aren't I? That was interesting development. I forgot to bring my ambrosia. I have this special food of the gods made from the souls of people that I've slayed and carved apart. Okay, this is where I was before. I actually made it. If you walk into the center of that room over there, where it looks like it's super significant, if you walk into the center of that, suddenly the giant Spider King Queen thing appears, and it is just awful. Let me tell you, it is awful. And so I had a feeling something bad was gonna happen, but I was like, well, in the name of science, let's check this shit out. And I ran right out to the middle, and sure enough, a giant spider the size of an RV showed up. Let me see. I am level 40. I am level 40. So there's actually a lot of stuff that I can now build that I couldn't build before. I have a ton of points to unlock stuff. I just haven't gotten... I tend to wait until I need it. Like, I'm like, okay, I want to do this, and then I'll unlock certain things. The only thing I really unlocked at the level that unlocked at level 40 was the axe. I got a Sumerian battle axe because I've been enjoying fighting with the axe. All right, I don't think there's anything else for me to do in here aside from wake up the super evil spider, which I'm not gonna do. Maxie, I can't remember. Did you get this game? Did you play this game? I also can't remember if you do the Humble Monthly thing, because that's where this game came from. For $12. And I haven't mentioned it in an hour or so. Anyone who doesn't have this game that is interested in this game, it's one of the early unlocks if you pay the $12 for next month's Humble Monthly bundle. So you never purchased from Home Bundle. Oh, okay. Yeah, once I started, I don't think I need this anymore now. I just wanted to, you can sort of see in this cave. I just wanted to make sure I was able to see well enough to catch all the spiders, and I pretty much cleared it out now. Yeah, ever since I started, I tried the monthly bundle for the first time. As soon as I found out about it, I signed up for it. I have been on it ever since, basically. And I looked back at some of the months leading up to that before I knew about them or before I paid attention to it. And I realized that there were like almost every month there was a game that I wish I would have gotten. Like a game that normally, like Conan is $40 standard price. Isn't it 40? I think it's $39.95. And during the Steam summer sale, I think I saw it for $29.95, and I was tempted because I've been wanting this game. I've been eyeballing it hard. I was tempted to get it. Oh shit! Okay, you son of a bitch. Scared the crap out of me. Okay. There's probably other spawns out here now. Because they've evidently had time to respawn. Let's see, let's just get... I have one of my little homes up here. So I'll head to that one. Oh, I'm thirsty too. You have a drink. Refill your water. Let's see. Fear the beard as I have returned. Welcome back, the beard. Hundle keeps making me enter their goddamn... Click on all the street signs. What? I'm not... Click on all the street sign captures? I'm not sure I know what you mean. You think I should try fighting a rhino, Brad? I just run naked and try fighting one of my fists. That weighs nothing. I don't lose anything. Capture with multiple images, and you have to click on all the ones that contain street signs. That... I don't remember that at all. That's part of Humble Bundle Monthly? Did you have to do that? Try to bone the rhino. I did actually... You were here, Brad, weren't you? I did, in the name of science, attempt to attack a small rhino. Just one of the little ones. And, I got a hit or two in. I think I had it down to about 95% health. And then it hit me once. And my guy flew like a rag doll for about 25 feet. Lost about a third of his health in that one hit. I was like, alright, well, science, that's... I feel like that we can conclude the experiment right there. That thing is going to kick my ass. Other big things, though, the first hit would one-shot me. That was the end of that's the end of it. So when do they come? When does it happen? Like, how does it implemented such that you have to do it? I don't remember. And maybe it's something that I just did and I don't remember doing, but what you're describing, I'm like, what are you talking about? Rhinos would teleport you and you'd be stuck inside them. Oh, that 3 months ago. The rhinos. I thought you were talking about 3 months ago is when Humble Bundle started making you click on street signs. Like, really? You'd be on a cliff way above them and then boom, rhino teleported to you and killed you. Let me see. I actually like this base is slightly better laid out than my other one. A little more spread out. I don't have as much junk in here. What am I carrying? I need to figure out... That's one problem. Every time I walk into one of my bases, I don't have a standardized system for storing things. So... Okay, that's obviously food. That's my adventure box. Is this where animal parts go? This is where animal parts go. Okay. And raw flesh. Where's my cooking? Here. We're just... I don't care to do anything. Oh, you know what? Drying the raw flesh is not a bad idea. But I have no bark. And I'm just not that... I don't care that much, so... Cooking it helps preserve it a little bit. So I'll at least do that, so... I doubt I'm ever gonna have a point where I need to eat it, though. Gold coins are not animal parts. Could be wrong, though. Gold coins are not animal parts. Like, as in you're carving up an animal and you end up with gold coins? You think that's not the case? That would not have been something that I would have suspected. Oh, okay. I was like... I think this became... I categorized this as where I put... And also household goods. Like house parts. This is like a random shit box. But... at some portion, I was like... Weird oddities that people drop that I don't know what they do. They go in this box. And at the time, I didn't know about the NPC. As far as I know, that's all you really use it for. Or you can break this down into other ingredients that you use for other shit, maybe. But I was like, oh, I'll just put that. Let me see. I was putting them in my adventure box. And one of my other bases, I put coins, my silver coins, I put in the adventure box. All right. Remember, I'm basically useless in here. Okay, some stone over here. Ichor. Was I just keeping that? Where was I putting ichor? I think that was stuff that you use for... Here, that's where I was putting it. Okay. And... Alright. I think what I would maybe like to do is go up into the, go up to the Pacific Northwest here and get some of the heavier animal skins, like from bears and whatnot. Because that's something that I haven't farmed at all in this game that I could use. You like my adventure box? Yeah, I built this. It's pretty basic, but I like it. It's home. It's ergonomically pleasing to me. The problem is I have two other sort of main bases. There's one I just built that I started at today, and there's one down the river that's sort of like my main base that's got everything in it. Oops. And so this was originally, I was planning it to be my main base because it's right between these two major areas. This is like a higher level, different climate area. You start the game down here naked in a desert. So I made a little house here and I got my first bearings together and my first set of like cloth armor and all that stuff. And then I decided I was going to come up to the head of this river and make a base. But about a third of the way up, I got caught in a sandstorm that killed me. So the next time, I was like, I should build a little shelter over here so I can hide in case I have some place to run to in case there's a sandstorm. But then I discovered there was a nice source of iron, so I took note, and then I came up here, and I thought I didn't like the iron sources as much here at a point where I needed a lot of iron. So I came back down, and then I realized everything was super plentiful down here. All like animals and hides and food and water and everything else. So I ended up just kind of making that my main base. Like I stayed there for a long time. Okay, now I know. Before I go, I need to get some of that god food I was talking about. See, there's my adventure box. I put that in the adventure box. We use that instead of a carving knife when we go to beat up people. You need to have horse or bear or something like that. You can break its spirit and ride in those long distances. Somebody, I don't know, maybe it was Madros, mentioned that the devs have already said they're planning on having animal taming in the game. I don't know if that'll amount to mounts, but it would make a lot of sense if they did. Because that's one big thing that Ark Survival has over this game. Because they're very similar games in a lot of ways. Settings aside, the gameplay is very similar. But Ark is all about taming dinosaurs of various types. And this game, that's something that it does not have. Oh, come on, really? All right, come meet me around the corner here. You guys are hurting me. All right, this is where we use this Ankh to carve them up, and we get special things. Uh-oh, here comes the welcoming committee. Oh, woofing it. Yeah, I'm not so good at the combat. All right, let's continue carving up these people. I should pay attention to what they actually have to loot. It's just normally these low-level guys, their loot is such garbage. No. I just don't care. I don't want iron right now. I've got plenty of iron in my base. When I want iron, I'll go foraging for iron. Riding the giant spider. That would be cool, though. I think I've decided I do want to collect eggs. Human flesh, not my style. I don't touch this stuff. Hardened brick, that's rare. I'll grab one of those. And an orb, that's kind of rare. Alright guys, let me eat. Oh, I'm really beat up, huh? Wouldn't mind trying this game while it's on sale, but pre-patch for the new WoW just launched and you have vacation starting Sunday. Don't know what it... Okay, so you are otherwise spoken for. And a sandstorm is on now, but now I'm wearing this sandstorm breathing mask, so I won't die like I did when I was a noob. So that's a nice upgrade. Because normally once the little bit starts flowing through the air like that, for the first week or so I was playing this, I'd start pissing my pants and running for shelter. Nothing too impressive there. Hey, buddy. What you got? I'll take bark. Okay, so they do have useful stuff. I just got an email saying that I have up to 96 free hours of Final Fantasy XIV, so there's another thing I have to think about. I'm stretched pretty thin in terms of games that I'm interested in right now. Oops. Because I'm still technically playing Final Fantasy XV, which I actually was enjoying quite a bit. But then this game came out, and this game was something I've been more wanting. Hey, bone meal. Oh, this is hurting me. Why is this hurting me? I'm supposed to be immune to the sandstorm. Aren't I? Oh, I guess I just got hurt because I got my ass handed to me in combat. Okay. Can I eat without dying? I was not paying it. Was that combat, or was I being hurt by the sandstorm? Oh, I was standing against, like, their spiky... Oh, shit. I cannot afford to get hurt right now. Alright. I think it's time for me to make a strategic retreat. Even though I basically cleared the village already. Let me see what they got in here. Don't care, don't care, don't care, don't care. Now, from what other people were saying in here the other day, in the harder areas, the loot is actually substantial from these villages and from the people, from the NPCs. The loot here is sort of like throwaway stuff. I mean, it's technically stuff you would gather, but typically when I need certain things, that's when you want to bother gathering them and having them take up inventory space. Oh, no, it's a mod. I'm using mods. I have 3 mods on my private game. One is the compass. Another one is something that allows me to pick up items after I've placed them. So when it's time to rearrange my base, I don't have to, if I want to move that table, normally all you can do is destroy it. You get some of the resources back, and then you got to build a new one. But I like being able to pick stuff up and move it. And that includes like walls and doors and stuff too. It's pretty good. And then also I have a mod that makes it so when you're crafting or when you're harvesting, your camera doesn't shake. So you may notice normally when you come at, like when you come at a tree, every time you hit it, the whole camera shakes, like to show a shock. And I've got it so that it's like, nope, my camera stays still. Because that camera shake every time was making my eyes feel wobbly. I didn't need that. So those are my 3 mods. I don't have anything that changes the game substantially. Alright, going to the God Altar. Now, so I got Lingering Essence from, so that's when I used the Ankh to carve those people up. Part of what I got was Lingering Essences, and that's used to make Ambrosia. And ambrosia is a kind of a heavy meal, but it heals you for a lot. Let me get rid of this human meat. Human meat. What you're eating, what you're savoring with your taste buds, that is human meat. It's Frank Reynolds' Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Occurs to me, maybe a couple people in here might know what I was referring to, and the other people thought I just suddenly developed some kind of Tourette's. Do I have a box where I keep... Yeah, this is where I keep the various orbs, which I don't use that much. Here we go. Now we can start making fish strips. Wow, that's a lot of fish strips. Got any fire orbs? No? Are those, can you make those? Because in terms of orbs that I can make, the only recipe I have right now is for just flat out water orbs. So, and then a shitload of dyes, which I've used. That's all the red in my outfit is from the dyes that I made. I felt like I have a nice coordination going. I'm so beat up right now. Okay. Forget, did I have I got fish baskets. Trying to remember if I have any shellfish baskets though in this area, because when you catch the lobsters, those are really high quality food as well. Fish fingers. Well, isn't that frozen fish sticks? Because in this, I think that they're fish strips, and I don't think they're supposed to be the same thing. It's not the impression I get. Okay, it looks like all I've got is fish traps. Man, I don't check these very often. I've got so much fish. I could probably build a house out of damn fish. It wouldn't be very pleasant to live in, especially after a few hours. But I have the materials to make it happen. Oh, hey, coffee bird. Yeah, I've heard of fish fingers before. I've heard the term fish fingers before for fish sticks. Do they have any limit? No way you can hold 50 fish in there. I don't know what the limit is, but it's a little bit absurd. I agree. And it seems like, do they ever go bad? I mean, all right, here, let's make some fish strips. Let's consolidate these. This is high grade. So maybe I'm gonna make a stack of just cooking up the exotic fish. I can't remember if it becomes a high grade or a medium grade food though. It's a mid grade food. I would like a high grade food. All right, you can stop. You've disappointed me. All yous are going in here, and y'all's is gonna be fish strips. Wait a minute. There it is. Fish strip. 148 fish strips. Go. Covered in breadcrumbs, or I call them fish stick. Fish dicks. I am not a gay fish. Alright, where do I keep my Where do I keep my sticks in this place? I know we use sticks in here. I'll put some in here. There's nothing in that machine. Carry it. Alright, I guess I got a little bit of that going on too. The eggs I'm holding on for a rainy day. Putting hides in here. Okay. Think we can put away the Ankh in our adventure box. Let's see. Where's my carving? Okay, this is my carving knife. No, but there's no taming, but there's supposed to be. It's supposed to be a feature that they're going to be implementing. There are no slaves here. I have entrapped. I have turned the souls of my foes into food. I don't know if that's worse, but oops. But yeah, watch. Oh no, I don't. That's gonna be overkill. Did I eat one of these? Oh, that was just from the meat. I like bringing this stuff along. It's basically as good as a healing potion, except it's kind of heavy. It's better than the healing potions that I can actually make right now. So I'll bring 5 along. And I'm basically almost healed up. Let's see if it tops off. Yep, I'm all topped off. Let me see. I think I'm gonna bring some fish strips. And now that I'm thinking about it, I do want to make a shellfish trap, because what do I need? 4 shaped woods and 5 twines. Shaped woods come out of here. I don't have any. Do I have them somewhere else? Oh, maybe this box over here. I was keeping refined stuff. Oh, I only have 2 shaped woods. Alright, we're gonna make some more shaped woods. And then, I'm not gonna sweat it for right now. This is Conan, not the Beastmaster? Though I don't know if I ever watched that movie. I remember the box because I worked at a video store. And it looked very much like Conan. Almost so much that one might think that based on the popularity of Conan, someone else decided to make a movie that looked like it, but was legally distinct. But that maybe would confuse some people in the video store into watching. It wasn't exactly good, but it was fun. Squid. Oh, the human version of the robot friend. Well, they are technically all AIs in here. And now I'm realizing it's getting towards the end of the day. Maybe I can get over into there real quick. And, kill me a bear or 2 or something, and then come back. But I wanted to make sure I had ambrosia, because if a bear bites me, it hurts a lot. So yeah, there's a vision you see here. I mentioned this when I was streaming last time. That vision led me to believe that if I walked further, I would go into some invisible barrier and be killed. Turns out that's not the case, but I spent many days not ever entering this zone because I thought I would be insta-killed. Because, you know, I was scared. This area is much prettier, but it's harder. There's also a purge meter. When this fills up, you get attacked by NPC baddies, and depending on what area of the map you're in, your base gets attacked. If you don't have the means to defend it with like really strong materials, building materials, and thralls, combat like defensive thralls, the NPC purge will destroy your base. It doesn't happen. I mean, something that happens. It may go weeks with it not happening, weeks in real time. But it is something that you have to keep on your radar and take into consideration when you're building. So if I was going to build something out here where it's green and pretty, I would need to build the F out of that thing. Alright, is the deer, I forget if the deer has better hide. Hey buddy! He's got fur. No, fur's good. Fur's used to make things that you can't otherwise make. I think there's usually a bear that chills out over here too. They're making those drums at me. But it is getting dark. I don't think I want to screw with the bear when I can't see. I'm definitely not putting my shield away to hold a torch when I'm fighting the bear. I'm keeping the shield out for that shit. You have yet to see a functional purge. The guy that I've been watching, the assassin guy, he got a purge earlier this week. And he said it actually didn't hurt him that much, but someone else in that, I believe it was in that chat, not in here, it was in that chat, because they were talking about purges, and they said that he'd been purged 3 times, and each time they completely destroyed his base. So it may be something of working out the kinks of getting them to trigger with properly or consistently, but it sounds like when they do trigger, and they do trigger sometimes, they will F some shit up. My main base is along the New River, made all 3 building materials so they couldn't damage even if they did show up. Well, what I heard, and this is just based, I think, on a throwaway comment that somebody made in a YouTube video or stream, but they said in the desert, in the noob area, like along the river, the purges, if they hit you there, are weak enough that it almost doesn't matter what you make it out of. It's not until you start moving into the more advanced areas, if you get a purge there, they will really bring the hurt. And so you've got to build strong and with defenses and with people guarding your shit. There are thralls that only show up during purges, so I've been hoping one more. Oh, right, yeah, I've heard they've some of the highest level good stuff comes from purges. Time for some defensive thralls then, or maybe that makes the purge trigger. I'm not sure what causes the meter to go up, to be honest. I don't know what impacts that. If it's like how impressive your base is getting, or no, don't purge the lawyer. I'm one of the good lawyers, Brad, even though I have thralls and not slaves. Slaves are terrible. I have thralls. They love me. And they're computer AI, if it helps. It helps you feel any better. Oh yeah, now that I got some time on my hands, before the sun comes up. I was gonna make some of those. What are they? I can never find it. That's one thing. I feel like there's got to be a better way for them to sort, for you to be able to sort through stuff rather than manually searching or typing a name in. Like, I feel like you should be able to look at categories and then all that is in that tab is the stuff, because you can be like, oh, I want to look at building materials, but it's like they got workstations, campfire, bedroll, here's construction materials, and then in the middle of that there's a campfire, and it's sort of like, what time is it? It's 3 minutes to 8, so it's just before 8 p.m. where I am. Go with the, let me see. The note, okay, hold on. You leveled to 60 on 3 different servers, played for 1,000 hours, right. You never seen a single functional one. Although the notice has occurred claiming that I was being attacked by one. You go for the feat surviving. Huh. Maybe you got a really weak one when you weren't looking. I don't know. I honestly, maybe it was broken for you. Honestly, in this game, there's a lot of rough edges. So you know more than I would. I just know I heard other people talking, and earlier this week, the assassin guy, the guy we raided on Monday, said he got a purge, and that it didn't. He was offline, but his friend was online when it happened. So who knows? Maybe it's becoming like lore. It's becoming like lore, where it's so legendary that people just make up stories about it, but it never actually happens. You just like, it's always a friend of a guy I heard about once. He got the purge, and it was awful. Yearly raid and shutdown time. What I'm waiting for. Let me see if my wife has. I was telling my wife that she should. Well, I should probably, maybe 8 o'clock would be a good time to stop. I don't know. I was thinking I would basically wait till my wife got home and then I would get off. So that was sort of what I was considering. Yeah, I'm gonna still do that. Because I've been streaming for, what, 3 hours and 15 minutes? Now, one thing I didn't do is, now that I'm thinking about it, is take a break. But she said she'd be home between 8 and 8:30. And I told her to text me before she gets here. So at the very least, at that point, I will turn the camera off. In fact, let me preemptively turn the camera off on my thank you screen. Okay, so that I don't accidentally... I don't think she cares too much, but I just don't... I feel like I don't want to... I don't want to... Like, it's been a long time before I ever showed my face on my channel. And I don't want to sort of involuntarily have her face be on my channel. Like, where she just was like, oh, I just happened to be walking home, and now, like, I'm on the internet. Oh, I'm still here. I just turned the camera off on my thank you screen. Because my thought was, if she texted me, and I was like, oh, okay, I'll turn the camera off. But it would still be on in the different scenes. The camera would only be off in this scene. The way OBS works. I don't know, you probably don't know that much about OBS. But every different screen setup that I have is a different scene that I can switch to. And it's got all sorts of different things that are... And some of them share a lot of the same parts in it, but in certain scenes, certain parts are disabled and can be toggled on and off. Or so that they're on in some scenes and off in others. And that's how I do it with the cam. So I don't want to turn the cam off here and then jump to the thank you screen. And all of a sudden it's like, oh, I forgot the cam was still on the thank you screen. And then, yeah, the whole operation has been compromised of Operation Keep My Sweetie Anonymous. It's a PS4 thing. I don't know either. I don't know what the differences are. Do they allow mods in PS4 too? Again, this happens to me a lot, but because I only play on PC, my awareness of what is going on, unless it's something that makes big news, like when Skyrim Special Edition came out and they were going to allow modding on consoles, there were huge stories and YouTube videos and commentary about it everywhere. So I knew about that. But in general, when there's multi-platform games going on, I don't know how one is different from the other. Like if they're on different update schedules or what. Okay. It's not a text saying she's almost home. Probably triple as soon as I show my wife. But you don't think anyone believes that I'm actually married? That's the problem. Most of the ones you've played on consoles are just a patch or two behind PC. Okay. Well, I know on occasion the differences are substantial. Like they'll almost be two different games. Most of the time that's not the case though. Alright, I thought there was a bear up there. I know there's wolves around this area, though. Secretly married to a dude. Maybe. Maybe not. No, I just know she tends to be like kind of a bashful, shy person. So that's why I just assumed she probably wouldn't. She'd probably feel like uncomfortable if she knew people were seeing her. Like I told you, she did that little series with me a couple years ago where we were playing Portal 2 co-op, and it was recorded offline, it wasn't streaming. And there have been multiple times over the past couple of years that we talked about maybe her doing some kind of a stream, like being with me on stream. And at first she's like, no, I don't want to do that. I'd be mortified. But then a couple times when we've been playing World of Warcraft and she's been drinking wine while we've been playing World of Warcraft and we've been goofing around and getting silly, she's like, you know what? I think it would be fun to stream if I had some wine first. Is this music super loud right now? In-game, the music is feeling loud in my ears. That's why I'm asking. So, but a couple times I've been like, okay, like, so do you want to stream today? And she'd just go, she'd get all like giggly and bashful. And then I'd turn back to my game or whatever. And then I'd turn around and be like, next thing I knew, she's just gone. Like, where the hell did you go? Booze is always the answer. All right, come on, doggy. Go sleep. Oh, there's another one over there. Pelts and furs. What I'd like to find is the damn bear. I know there's a bear around here. That you can make thick hides from their stuff. Hey, buddy. Hey, Butters. Whoa. Whoa there, buddy. Nope, just regular hide. But those furs, that's something I don't normally get. Why is it so hard for me to find a damn bear right now? Normally those things are all up in my face whenever I... Alright, somebody's heard me and is angry at me. Okay, it's this guy. Alright, I'm holding my own on the wolves. These things used to scare me a lot. They still, if my timing is slightly off, they can still tear the shit out of me if I'm not careful. But They don't seem ready to take me on. Yeah, they're not coordinated. They just... I don't know. They seem like they just don't have a sound strategy. Oh, I know where there's a bear. I hope it's not a boss bear, though. There's a wolf. Is the wolf gonna kill that deer? The wolf and a deer over there. Oh, shit! That sounded like a bear. Oh no, that was a deer, or an antelope, or whatever the hell they are. Not an antelope. What are the ones? An elk. I think it's an elk. No, it doesn't specify. I just got generic hide from it. Okay. I know there's like an island over here. That's like the island of the bears. But I think there's only one grown bear on it. Am I going in the right direction? Okay, yeah. There's one grown bear and a bunch of baby bears. And we'll sip. Fill my water. I see baby bears crawling around. Let's see what's under here. Yeah. Uh-oh, I'm very cold now. It's because I drank water, and then I went, and it was already chilly, and then I went in water. If you bump down to, I think that after very cold is like awfully cold, whatever the next one is, when you hit that one, that's when you start taking damage over time. And it's not mild either. But if I start killing babies, will mama come? Okay, that got me 6 bear pelts. Okay, so babies are lucrative. Shit, it all looks so wonderful. This all looks so wonderful here. It's cold, very cold, extremely cold. Okay, extremely cold is where you start taking damage, right? I think I was too far away from Mama Bear. Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. I feel like such an asshole. He's so brutal. When he kills, like, especially animals that are non-hostile and they don't fight. Alright, let's do this. There's the mama. I think she's gonna bleed out now. All right. Hey, I took care of that pretty good. And babies are lucrative. G-Lot 2018. At least he didn't say skinning babies, which is, yeah, that's what I was doing. And now it's Mama's turn. Wow, she had like 30 pelts though. All right, before we leave, are there any more babies? It's like I'm like the ice cream man. I'll just tell them the salmon man has come. Come see the salmon man. I am your friend. Bears give exotic flesh? Well, right now I wanted their pelts, but I was wondering where I would get exotic flesh. Are there any places where I mean, maybe you shouldn't tell me exactly, but exactly where. But are there places in the world where bears are a bit more common than this, like Valley of the Bears, or is it all? Because every time I run into one, it's been kind of an isolated thing. And now I've noticed that they're not always in the same places. Like I thought, oh, if I go back to this one rise where I saw a bear before, there'll be a bear. And then there wasn't. This is the only place where I've consistently seen bears. I think I've taken care of that problem. 100% exotic flesh. Come see him at the O'Farrell Theater. See all the baby bears clinging, hiding over by the rocks. I know one other location where I ran into a bear, but it's really far away. Where I've consistently run into a bear. Oh, let me get out of the water. I was like, I was gonna stop and look at the map, but I realized your stamina slowly ticks away. It's not good. There are plentiful sources of thick hide and exotic flesh. Well, does anything else out here give me thick hide? Like some of the wolves? I know there's like different variations of wolves. I don't pay attention to which ones I'm getting into. Because I know some of the wolf pelts I get are just to convert to regular hides though, right? They don't all become thick hides. Or do they? Am I misremembering? The wolves, but there are two things to do. Two things in this zone that do? Okay. Because I know the jungle biome's got like panthers and all sorts of nasty shit. I didn't like those panthers. I can beat one 101, but it's like they're spread out like World of Warcraft. They're sort of like MMO mobs where there's one every 20 yards, and they tend to all aggro on you at the same time. Once there's a second one on me, all I can do is run. And I died. I was up on a huge plateau thing, up near where, like on the way up to where those ruins are, the big ruins. And the second one aggroed on me, and so I ran to the edge, and I saw there was an edge of a river valley, and there was a river down below, and I thought, oh, I'll jump into the river. The river's only like 2 feet deep. So I fell like 500 feet, and I landed. Like, that was one of my deaths. I probably only died like 5 or 6 times in this game. That was one of them. Rhinos. Oh, shit. No, but rhinos are terrible. Rhinos are very... Are rhinos really that hard to beat? Or... I feel like they are. I feel like they're awful and they're terrible. And I should avoid them. Same with elephants. Uh-oh. Come on, bunch up, you two. Bunch up. Oh, uh-oh. Alright, well, I didn't get warning. So, or she's hiding. No, it doesn't bother me. I didn't want to ambush her with a camera. She forgot. Okay. So now that she's home, the name of the game is just going back to my in-game home. So I don't want to log out here. If you log out in the middle of like a zone where bad guys spawn, can you log in? Uh-oh. Something's after me. Son of a bitch. Okay, time for some ambrosia. Jiminy. Jiminy. Okay, hold on. Here. Where's the camera? There it is. Turning it off. Pulling the camera.
on. I don't care.
Really?
Yeah. I'm gonna go look at it or anything.
All right. Well, there's gonna be some weirdo out there that's gonna do a freeze frame and blow it up and be like, "This is G-Law's wife." It'll be like Bigfoot. There's just gonna and a bunch of people, or just be these blurry images, like pixelated images.
Well, I am from the Northwest. Home of the Bigfoot. So that makes sense.
A lot of people are saying, "Hello, Mrs. G-Law." I think she's had a long day and she's just tired. Maybe if she wasn't so tired and hungry, she'd care a little more about the whole camera thing. I just feel like, I keep feeling like it would be the sort of thing you would not want. You don't want to sit down next to me and perform? Okay, so she specifically just doesn't want to sit down with me in front of the microphone and be someone in front of an being in front of an audience formally. Oh. But it just so happens, now that she's home, I'm gonna get over here, I'm gonna get off my stream. I'm gonna have a little something to eat too before I go on my little adventure. Some of my burrito casserole that I made. Madros? Yeah. She thought that was funny. I wasn't comparing her to Bigfoot physically. She's way too short to be Bigfoot. You having enchiladas? My layers of burrito casserole are flour tortillas drenched in enchilada sauce. So it's sort of like I have enchiladas in there too. All right. I made it back to my house. I think I'm just gonna call quits on the game. And now we'll go to the there we go. Now I can have this back on. Bang! Okay. Should I look into... I've got 16 people in here right now. Should I look into a raid? You had taco salad? Mexican food is just... It's been my thing. A couple weeks ago, we went to this, like, old-timey traditional Mexican restaurant near downtown. And I had this... It was a wet burrito, and it was a chili relleno burrito. It was really awesome. And I've been obsessing about wet burritos ever since. So I think that's what got me thinking about making this little, like, burrito lasagna casserole thingy. All right. Let's see who's on. Streaming at weird times means I get to raid people I normally don't see, too. I like that. Ding, 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 ding. Oh, you know what? Should we raid? I'm sort of debating between, we just raided him though. Assassin who's also playing Conan. He's where I've been hanging out, but I don't know if people want to raid him twice in 1 week. The other person who raids me frequently, who I never get to raid, who is on right now, is Taya. And I think that's who I would like to raid. Even though she's playing Overwatch, and I'm not like a huge Overwatch enthusiast. I am, however, a big Taya enthusiast. So I think that's who we're gonna get. So before we make the transition, thank you everybody for being here. Taya, yes, you're into it, Ava? I like Taya. A lot of times I like streamers. It's not so much what they're playing, it's just I like the streamers. So Taya it is, but thank you everybody for being here. I'm really glad to be back and doing my thing and having fun with it and hanging out with you guys again. So It's been fun, y'all. You've been lurking. Food have a good night, and let's get that. Let me get Taya going on here. Let me get you a link. All right, here you go, guys. This is Taya. Go get her. Give her a hashtag LawHawkRaid. Give her a like. Let her know we're there. And I will see you guys next time. Hugs and kisses. See you guys later. Good night. Have a good weekend. All that good stuff.